Hey everyone, Decav13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Stay Night. Okay, a lot happened yesterday. Most important thing, we lost Saber. She's gone. Swallowed up by the shadow. And Shirou lost his command spells, so he's no longer a master. Also some weird shit going on with Sakura, but, you know, I'm sure we could leave that be for now. Anyway, we're on day 9, so let's head on in there, see what this one has in store for us. Morning. I wake up to sunshine filtering through the paper windows and notice my neck feels weirdly sluggish. My neck feels this way because my shoulders are stiff. I probably strained my neck muscles because I fell asleep on my stomach. On the other hand, my back injuries seem a lot better. They don't hurt anymore, so they shouldn't get in the way of daily life. I feel a sudden sting in my abdomen. The area where I was punched feels fine when I'm staying still, but sudden movements make it ache. Still, it's nothing I can't put up with. The pain isn't bad enough to keep me from moving, so this injury shouldn't get in the way of daily life either. I change clothes and leave my bedroom. The smell of breakfast wafts out from the living room, so Sakura must be getting things ready for us. This is just mirrors. She look even redder than usual. Wow. I don't even remember Sakura trying to wake me up. Not only are my shoulders stiff, my brain isn't even fully awake, apparently. Sakura really is upbeat today. Well, if she insists, then I shouldn't protest any further. It's fine. I nod, then cross the living room into the hallway. That was strange. I just passed by, glad to see her doing well, but still, something was off about... I hear something fall. I immediately recognize it as the sound of a person collapsing. Maybe I've gotten used to hearing it lately. Sakura! I run back to the living room. Sakura's drowsily getting up, as if she'd just fallen on the floor. Sakura! I support her unsteady body. I can feel the heat off her body, just like it did before. Her ragged breathing and sweat soaking through her shirt are obvious symptoms of a fever. She finally notices me. Sakura looks at me with unfocused eyes. Beaming at me, she untangles herself from my arms. Sakura, rather than pushing herself to do it, Sakura doesn't seem to have noticed her own fever.
さくら、すごい熱だぞ。
熱って私。
あ、くそ、自分で気づいてないんじゃ本当に重症じゃないか。なんだってこんな。
Why didn't I notice it sooner? Even if I'm sad about Saber, I should have paid more attention to Sakura's condition, who's still right by me. What's wrong with me?
先輩、私本当に大丈夫です。今のはちょっと転んだだけで、別にめまいとかそういうんじゃ。
バカ言うな。こんなに熱があるんだぞ。こんなの体温計使わなくてもわかる。
I lead her to the guest room. I need to let Sakura rest. I'll let the school know she's out sick, made something easy to digest for breakfast and for lunch. Right, I'll ask Grandpa Fujimura to send a caretaker over.
先輩、どこに行くんですか？学校に行く前にちゃんと朝ごはんを食べないとダメですよ。
Sakura still doesn't understand what's happening. Maybe she's so excited because her fever is making her delirious.
学校は休みだ。さくらは今日一日部屋でじっとしていること。学校へは俺が連絡を入れておく。どうせ教室で藤姉に会うんだから、その時に言えばいい。
学校を休むって私がですか？
No, you are not.
そうだよ。さくら以外に誰がいるんだ。俺はそりゃ怪我してるけど元気だからな。休む理由がないだろう。
No, I don't have a good reason to make myself go to school either. Without Saber, it's too risky to go alone. But still, I need to be there today. I need to report what happened with Zoken and Assassin to Tosaka. I can't stay holed up here.
とにかくさくらは今日は休み。いつも頑張ってるんだから、たまには派手に休んでもいいだろう。俺も用が。
いいえ、私本当に大丈夫です。だから朝ごはんを食べて学校に行きましょう。そうすればこんな熱すぐに良くなってくれますから。
She's certainly just stubborn, if nothing else.
バカ、そんなことあるか。なんかめちゃくちゃだぞ、さくら。
めちゃくちゃなんかじゃないです。無茶なのは先輩の方で、私は元気だし熱なんてないし、先輩は怪我してるじゃないですか。なのに私だけ休んじゃうなんて、そんな。
さくら、
おかしいです先輩。なんか私息苦しくて。
Sakura nearly falls to the floor, panting. Her body feels strangely heavy in my arms. Does she lack the strength to stand, or is she collapsed because she suddenly got so heavy? Either way, she has a fever that prevents her from walking around on her own, even if she believes otherwise.
バカ、いいか。何があっても今日は休ませるからな。嫌がるのは勝手だけど、そんな無駄に体力使ったら明日も休むことになるぞ。
でも先輩、私は学校に行かないと。
Sakura mumbles incoherently, her breathing unsteady. I ignore it and carry her to her bedroom. By the time we arrive, Sakura is already asleep. Or rather, she's still in a half-conscious state, her breathing labored. Just once, she firmly grabs hold of the arms I'm carrying with her. I'm carrying her with. Anyway, I'll tuck her into bed. Her voice is unfocused. Her eyes are on the ceiling, not seeing me.
さくら。
Her ragged breathing, her flushed cheeks, her damp shirt sticking to her skin, the anguished rise and fall of her chest with each breath. The sight is so enchanting I turn away in a hurry. Sakura's the one suffering from a fever, so why am I acting so inappropriately?
参った。やっぱり家政婦さんにお願いしないとダメだ。
I can't change Sakura's clothes, much less clean her body. Thankfully, her breathing stabilizes when she's in bed, so now I just need to wait for her fever to break. Once she can walk on her own, I'll take her to the hospital and get some medicine prescribed.
さくら、 すぐに人を呼ぶからそれまで寝ててくれ。藤姉んところの家政婦さんなら馴染みだよな。
She doesn't answer. Her breathing is still labored, but at least she's sleeping.
まったく変に強情なんだからさくらは。なんだってさ、そんなに学校に行きたがるんだよ。
I talk out loud to myself. Sakura's asleep, so I know she won't answer.
じゃあな、学校行ってくれ。
I get up and head for the door. Just as I do,
先輩と一緒に学校に行きたいんです。
I hear a reply.
さくら？
I turn around. Sakura's still asleep, but with a worried frown.
なんだ、ただの上事か。
I leave the guest room this time. But as I do,
私が先輩を守らないと。
I hear her say something in her fever dream. Something gonna happen today? On the way to school, I stop by Fujine's house and ask for a caretaker. I sometimes forget because Fujine doesn't make a big deal out of it, but the Fujimura residence is one of the most extravagant homes in our neighborhood. It isn't a company, yet there are dozens of fierce-looking men who call themselves employees. Most of them live in a separate building on the compound, but anyway, it's a huge family. They also employ an appropriate amount of workers, so I can ask them to lend me a caretaker who's available. Then, I have them send over an emergency housekeeper that's helped me a number of times in the past before Sakura started coming around. Sakura is acquainted with them too, so I feel comfortable leaving her to them. And so the day passes until lunchtime. We meet up on the roof per unspoken agreement, and I tell Tosaka what happened last night. As a result,
じゃあ何？マトウゾウケンはアサシンのマスターでセイバーじゃなくエミヤ君を殺そうとしたの？
Tosaka suddenly gets angry at me.
そうだけど、なんだいきなり。
いきなりじゃない。聞いた限りじゃゾウケンのやつセイバーが倒されてからエミヤ君を殺そうとしたんでしょ。そんなの変よ。どう考えても手順が違う。
Tosaka leans in and glares at me, irritated. We're behind the water tower, which has become our usual meeting spot. I unconsciously back up just a few centimeters, intimidated by her spirit that feels closer to hostility.
ちょっと人の話聞いてる？エミヤ君、今の話あなたは何とも思わなかったの？
Tosaka shoots me a glare full of irritation and loathing. Her attitude is overwhelming enough, but her being this close is making me very uneasy. I don't have any more room to back up in this tight space. I'm like a rat. I mean, human, trapped in a bag.
その、どのあたりが違うんだ？
優先度の問題よ。あなたと二人っきりになったのにゾウケンはあなたを殺そうとしなかった。アサシンが勝てたから良かったものの、負ける可能性だってあったんだから。ゾウケンはセイバーのマスターであるあなたを早く倒そうとするはずでしょ。
いや、それはそうだけど、ゾウケンはアサシンがセイバーを必ず倒せるって自信があったんじゃないか。
まさかアサシンがセイバーより弱いっていうのはエミヤ君でも分かったんでしょ。ならあいつはそんな賭けはしないわよ。
Yeah.
そうしなかったのは理由があったからでしょうね。まあ考えられるのは2つぐらいだけど。
2つ？それは。
Probably because you don't want to kill me.
それはあの場で俺を殺したくなかったからか。
まあそれが一番納得のいく理由よね。となるとゾウケンはセイバーを消したくなかったと見るしかない。エミヤ君が死ぬことによるマイナスなんてセイバーが消えることだけだものね。
そりゃあな、俺の扱いなんてそんなもんだ。
何拗ねてるのよ。あくまで造形にとっての話ってことなんだから軽く聞き流しなさいよね。
いや別に拗ねてないけど事実だし。けどなんだってそんなことで怒るんだよ遠坂は。
別に私だって怒ってないわ。エミヤ君の勘違いでしょ。とにかく造形はセイバー自身に用があった。マスターとしてエミヤ君には生きていてほしかったんでしょうね。けどもう一度聞くけど、あいつ確かにもう用済みって言ったのね。
I think back to last night's events.
当坂の娘にはまだ利用価値があるがな、小僧。お前は用済みよ。
ああ、遠坂にはまだ利用価値があるとも言ってた。
そう。そっちの方は点で予想がつかないけど、私から逃げ回ってるのはそういうわけか。会ってしまえばどちらかが死ぬしかない。けど造形は自分も私もまだ生かしたがってるから、今は会わないように隠れてる。
Tosaka considers it for a moment. Now then, I've told her what I came here to say. If there's anything else to say, it would be... I can't do this alone. I have to decide what I'm going to do next. I chose to keep fighting. Zoken Mato an assassin. The Black Shadow roaming the town. Masters fighting each other over the Holy Grail. I decided I'd stop it all, even if I lost Saber. This is not time to worry about appearances. I need Tosaka's help if I want to prevent any further victims.
遠坂、俺はセイバーを失ってレイジもなくなった。ならもうマスターじゃなくなったんだよな。
そうね。肝心なことを忘れてた。エミヤ君はもうマスターじゃない。聖杯戦争に関わる必要はなくなって、他のマスターに狙われる危険も薄れたわ。
そうだな。俺が聖杯を欲しがったのはセイバーが必要だと言ったからだ。セイバーがいなくなった今、聖杯に興味はない。
そう。それじゃあ、あなたはもう戦わない？
Tosaka's eyes are stoic. She asks me the question as a master, evenly and without letting her own emotions cloud it. It's a warning, not a question. This is my last chance. She's giving me fair warning that it isn't too late to turn back.
いや、
But my answer was decided long ago. I'm going to remember how considerate she was for asking me.
そんなわけないだろう。マスターでなくなっても戦いからは降りない。俺は戦いを止めるために戦うって決めたんだから。
そうなら私たちの関係も続行ってことね。お互い敵同士だけど、とりあえずあの影を倒すまで休戦状態ってことで。
Tosaka smiles suddenly. Her stoicness from a moment ago turns to friendliness, as if something nice just happened. That's fine, I guess. It's not like I'd know why.
ちょっと待った。敵同士ってどうしてだよ。俺はもうマスターじゃないんだぞ。遠坂といがみ合う理由はないだろう。
何言ってるのよ。サーバントとレイジュが亡くなったからってあなたがセイバーのマスターだったことに変わりはないでしょ。曲がりなりにも聖杯に選ばれたエミヤ君には最後まで聖杯を手に入れる資格がある。無力化したところで競争相手であることに変わりはないわ。
そうなのか。俺に聖杯を手に入れる気がないとしても。
そんなの状況次第でしょ。もし聖杯が手に入る状況になってエミヤ君もどうしても聖杯が必要になってしまって仕方なく聖杯を使うってこともありえない話じゃないわ。無欲な人間ってのはね、無欲だからこそ自分以外のものに引きずられるんだし。
遠坂、それは考えすぎだ。仮に聖杯が必要になったとしても俺が聖杯を手に入れられるわけないじゃないか。
だからもしもの話けど可能性はゼロじゃないわ。だからそういうことを踏まえて敵同士だって言ってるの。 マスターで亡くなった魔術師が教会に逃げ込むのだってそのためよ。サーバントを失ったからって他のマスターにとってみれば目障りな邪魔者なんだから。そのあたり、
Yeah,
エミヤ君も
Shinji
気
is
をつけて
too.
行動なさい。あなたを殺したがってるのは
Although it is still
頂
weird
点だ
that
けじゃ
Ryder
ないん
came
だ
to
から。
defend us on her master's orders.
その忠告はありがたく受け取っとくけど。
I'm not happy about still being enemies with her.
何よ難しそうな顔しちゃって。私と敵同士なんて今まで通りでしょ。なのに困ることなんてあるの？
ある。それじゃ遠坂の力を借りられないじゃないか。
She freezes. Tosaka stares at me like she's just seen a ghost.
私の力を借りるってなんで？
なんでも何も俺一人じゃ無理なんだ。聖杯戦争を止めるってことは他のマスターを倒すってことだろ。けど情けないのは分かってる。けどなりふり構っていられない。俺にできることは少なくて、その中で一番いい方法がこれなんだと思う。だから遠坂と敵同士にはなれない。遠坂とは休戦するんじゃなくて協力者として助力してほしいんだ。
ちょっと正気？エミヤ君。
正気だよ。俺は協力者としては力不足でお前の足手まといになるかもしれない。お前には俺と手を組むメリットがないし、俺にだってお前に返すものがない。そうだな。普通こんな協力関係は成り立たない。
なんだ分かってるじゃない。あなたの言う通り魔術の基本は10日交換よ。元手がないやつに物を貸すことはできないし、釣り合わない技術者に手を貸すこともできない。そんなの今までは休戦状態だったから相談に乗ってたけど、協力関係となると話は別よ。協力し合うってことは仲間ってことで、そうなったら報酬だって山分けにしなくちゃならないんだから。
ああ、けどそれを承知で頼む。俺に手を貸してくれ遠坂。この借りは生きている限り必ず返す。
生きてる限りってあなたね。
I know what a burden I'd be to her. But Tosaka's the most reliable person I know, and if she's the one who gets the Holy Grail, I can trust that nothing will go wrong. So she's the only one I can think of helping win as master.
遠坂、答えを聞かせてくれ。
I meet her eyes.
そんなの決まってるじゃない。マスターじゃないやつと組んでも私は。
遠坂、
だからそんな風に言われても手助けなんてできないし、そもそも。
遠坂、
それじゃあまるでちゃんとした契約みたいじゃない。
There it is. Tosaka makes a show of looking down.
ああ、もう分かったわよ。それじゃあ交換
Oh,
条
she
件。
agreed in the end. She shoots a hard gaze right back at me.
交換条件ってどんな？
交換条件は交換条件よ。これは立派な契約だもの。だから今から言うことを守れるなら考えてあげないこともないわ。
遠坂、さっきも言ったけど俺今遠坂に返せるものは何もないぞ。
いいから聞く。
分かった、とりあえず聞く。
よし、じゃあ一つ目、協力関係になるのはいいけど、その場合私の言うことはちゃんと守る？戦いになった時どんな指示でも文句言わない？
Yes.
それじゃあ二つ目、私が信頼した分私を信用できる？どんなことになってもどんなひどいことになっても裏切らない？
No.
裏切らないのは当然だが最後のはうなずけない。どんなひどいことになってもってどんなひどいことだよ。
そんなの決まってるじゃない。死ぬか死ぬ一歩手前のことよ。 エミヤ君は元手がないんだから、それぐらいの覚悟は必要でしょ。それとも何？空手で私と取引しようなんて都合のいいこと言うの？
痛いところをつくな、遠坂。
当然でしょ。こっちだって遊びじゃないんだから、それぐらいの覚悟を見せてもらわないと割が合わないわ。
オッケー、分かった。なんとか善処する。
そう。それじゃあエミヤ君はこれから私に絶対服従ってことでいいわけね。
Tosaka says something ominous. It sounds like a question, but clearly... The hell I will.
っていいわけあるか。魔術師として遠坂の指示が優れてるのは認めるけど、たまには失敗することだってあるだろう。もし遠坂がおかしなことを言い出したら簡単にうなずくことなんてできない。お前が間違ってるって思ったらその時はちゃんと反対する。きちんと協力するってそういうことだろ。
もちろん。そうでなくっちゃ協力なんてできないわ。私は独走しがちなところがあるし、ブレーキ役がいなくちゃ危ないって思ってたの。
Oh, that worked out.
ええ、あなたがその役になってくれるなら助かるわ。
ね。
That's a little anticlimactic. I was ready for her to argue against me, but Tosaka seems satisfied with my answer.
じゃあ最後の質問ね。例えばエミヤ君にできないことがあって、それが私にできることならいくらでも手を貸すわ。けどその逆になった時、あなたも同じことができる？
俺にできて遠坂にできないこと？
Did anything like that even exist? Is Tosaka actually bad at cooking or something?
ちょっと、一番大事な質問なんだから答えてよ。イエスかノーか早く。
いや、その具体例で言ってくれると助かるんだな。
なあもう、つまり私を勝たせてくれるかってこと。
Tosaka blusters sulkily, her cheeks flushed. It's a far cry from the image I've had of her so far, like that of a child. And yet...
なあ、協力するからにはきっと遠坂を勝たせる。約束だ。
She's so sincere. I can't help but find it cute.
それじゃあ学校が終わったら正門で待ち合わせね。今日からしばらくエミヤ君には私の家で部活動をしてもらうから。
部活動って遠坂の家で？
そう。手を組んだ以上、あなたを一人でも戦えるように教え込まなくちゃいけないでしょ。
That's fair.
まあエミヤ君が素人だってことはあの夜で分かってるから、連日居残ってもらうことになるけどね。
いや、それは構わないし、むしろ助かるんだが、その今日から？
当たり前よ。まずエミヤ君の力量を把握して今夜からの方針を決めないといけないもの。帰りはかなり遅くなるだろうけど、エミヤ君は一人暮らしだから問題ないわよね。
いや、その通りだけど、なんでそんなこと知ってるんだ遠坂。
だって前にエミヤ君の手当てをした時、家に誰もいなかったからそうだろうなって。ともかくそういうことだから、エミヤ君は正門で待ってればいいの。
Tosaka leaves with a casual wave. Today's Friday. Classes run until 6th period and we get out after 3 p.m.
言ったな。桜には早く帰るって言ったけど、さすがに初日からキャンセルするわけにはいかないか。
Sorry to Sakura who I'm taking care of at home, but I'll need to join Tosaka today. Well, Tosaka isn't a monster. If I explain Sakura's situation, there's a chance she'll let me go home early just for today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she will. All cloudy today. I wait for Tosaka by the school gate. The sky is all gray and it looks like it's about to rain. Not to mention this chilly wind. It's going to be a cold night if there's wind.
何？考え事？
I return to reality. Tosaka's here. Her shoulders are slightly heaving like she ran here.
いや、なんか雨になるかなって。
ああ、天気のことね。見た感じ小雨ぐらいかな。夜の巡回もあるし、あんまり降られるのも困りものだけど。
From the sound of that, Tosaka expects us to go on patrol tonight. I'd like that too, but I should check in on Sakura at home before that.
トサカ、その話なんだけどな。
分かってるって。仲間同士、しっかり鍛えてあげるから覚悟なさい。ちゃんとエミヤ君を一人前にしてみせるから。
With a bold declaration, Tosaka starts down the path home. Uh-oh. If you smile at me like that, how am I supposed to say I need to go home early today? We take the long path up the hill, south of the intersection. We're coming up on the neighborhood with European houses. Tosaka's house is situated at the top of the hill, much higher than Sakura's. So this is the Tosaka mansion. How do I put it? Sakura's house is big, but this one really grabs the eye with its European feel. It also feels cold and heartless somehow. The air around the entire top of the hill feels like it rejects visitors.
どうしたの？足止めちゃって。私の家ここだけど。
ああ、分かってる。ただ、なんとなく威圧されただけだ。
そうね。私のところはエミヤ君の家とは違うから、魔力の気配に疎いあなたでもここの冷たさは感じ取れるってこと。
Tosaka continues walking with a bored tone.
ほら、早く来なさいよ。罠なんて仕掛けてないんだから尻込みすることないでしょ。
Tosaka beckons me in front of her door.
いや、尻込みしてるのは雰囲気だけじゃないんだけどな。
Grumbling, I steel myself and step through the threshold. It does feel cold, but my mind is elsewhere. She has no idea what a big deal it is for a guy to get invited over to Rin Tosaka's house. She wouldn't understand even if I explained. At best, she would just laugh at me. On top of that,
なんで今じゃなくてお前の部屋なんだよ。
after showing me the parlor, Tosaka took me up to her room like it was the most natural thing.
なんでって、ここのが器具が揃ってるからだけど。今はお茶を飲むところだし、別にお茶しに来たわけじゃないでしょ。
それはそうだけど。
I wish she'd remember that I'm the same age member of the opposite sex.
とにかく適当に座って。性別は政治とカードで行うけど、どっちも苦手だったら今のうちに言っとくこと。
Tosaka opens a box next to her bed. It's filled with treasures straight out of an adventure movie.
騎士のメノなんか使ってもしょうがないか。あれ、政治切れてる。あ、じゃあちょっと下から2、3輪持ってきて。
シンクのサルビアだな。まあそこの男を判別するのにそこまでする必要はないだろうがね。
私の勝手でしょ。で、持ってきたらしばらく下で休んでて。彼とは協定を結んだんだから、いちいち護衛しなくてもいいでしょ。
そうだな。その男に君を出し抜く度胸などあるまい。私は夜に備えるとしよう。
That must have been Archer. I couldn't sense his enormous magical energy at all. Maybe it's reduced while he's in spirit form.
驚いたな。同じ部屋にいるなんて気がつかなかった。
霊体になっていればそんなものよ。仮に実体化していても、この屋敷にいる限り魔力は外に漏れないわ。外部への魔力遮断なんて攻防としては初歩の初歩だから。
じゃあそのマキリじゃなくてマトウの屋敷も同じようなものなのか。
ええ。もっともあそこはもう魔力を隠す必要はないから、隠してるとしたら家から漏れる魔力じゃなく魔術師本人から漏れる魔力でしょうけど。まあどちらにせよ魔力を隠すだけならどうとでもなるってこと。本当なら学校にもアーチャーを連れて行くところだけど、今あいつ本調子じゃないから昼間は休ませてるの。
Tosaka rummages around in her treasure chest while making a troubled expression. Looks like she can't find what she's looking for. Is she actually really disorganized?
ほんと普通の傷は簡単に治療できるのに、どうしてセイバーの傷だけは治療できないのかしら、あいつ。なんか因縁があったとしか思えないんだけど。どうしてこう大師傅の宝石ばっかり出てくるのよ。普段は出てこないくせに。この。
She literally throws herself into her search. The chest looks small, but it's apparently deep enough to swallow Tosaka whole. Anyway, there's nothing to grit my teeth for at the moment. At most, I can pray that Tosaka finds whatever she's looking for. I absently look around the room. And I see something incredible. It's a photograph. I found it on a bookshelf no higher than my waist, in the corner of the room. The photo is on top like it was forgotten there. Dust comes off when I touch it, indicating that it's been here for a while.
掃除をしてないってわけじゃないよな。この写真だけほっぽっとかれてるんだ。
Maybe Tosaka doesn't like looking at pictures from her childhood. But then she wouldn't leave this out here. It's something important that she doesn't want to touch, I guess.
それにしても。
People sure do change. In the picture, Tosaka is 5 or 6 years old, and she's, well, totally adorable.
昔から髪は長かったんだ。って、あれ
Although, you know, I'm just noticing. Ribbon. In the photo, Tosaka's wearing the same style she does now. But one difference catches my eye.
お待たせ。準備は整ったわ。
It's not the same ribbon Sakura
これ
wore?
から少し痛い目に遭ってもらうけど気にしないで。どうしたのエミヤくん。
ああ、父さんがこれ。
I hold out the photo I found.
なんだ、昔の写真じゃない。隅っこに置いといたんだけど、それがどうかした？
あ、いや、別にどうもしないんだが、ほら。
I hesitate to bring it up since it doesn't matter. I really don't need to ask her this, but something about it stands out to me.
おう、そっか。リボンが違うって言うんでしょエミヤくんは。
I nod.
そんなの当たり前じゃない。女の子だもん。髪留めなんていくらでも持ってるわ。いくらお気に入りだからって十何年も同じのつけてると思う？
Oh. That does make sense now that she mentions it. What am I getting so hung up for? So hung up on some ribbon for?
なんてね。そう言いたいところだけど、髪留めは特別よ。女の魔術師にとって髪は最後の切り札でしょ。縛り付けるものだって相応の魔術品なんだから、替えの代物なんてめったにないわ。
へえ。じゃあそのリボン、何らかの魔術品なのか？
ええ。髪を留めるってことは魔力を貯めるってことだから。遠坂は魔眼持ちじゃないから、せめて髪だけでも予備魔力を蓄えておかないといけないの。で、自分の体をコントロールするんだから、髪留めは自分で作った方がいいでしょ。それ、私が最初に作ったリボンなの。お気に入りだったんだけど、まあいろいろあって手放したわけ。さて、無駄話はここまでよ。スパッと性別を始めるから、まずはそこの椅子に座ってちょうだい。
Tosaka's magical examination ends rather quickly. She lit some incense and did something that looked like a tarot card reading, then I answered some questions that reminded me of a personality test. According to her,
該当なし。これ以上は無駄ね。
she gives up quickly on trying to identify my magic circuits.
あ、それってわからないってことか。
失礼ね。エミヤくんが五大元素に関わってないってことは分かったわよ。そこから先の性別は私の専門外だから、これ以上調べるのは無駄でしょ。あとはエミヤくんが使える魔術を見せてもらって、そこから推測するだけよ。
Well, so she says. Next, I practiced my strengthening magecraft on the clay lump that Tosaka gave me. Clay is a lump of ether, and always returns to being a lump no matter what you do to it, so it's very conductive to magical energy. I was a little worried it might get stuck once I strengthened it, but
死肉みたいなものだから気にしないで。よっぽど強い魔力でくくっても1日で復元しちゃう材質だから。
So she said. By the way, she said a shiniku is a lump of meat that never gets smaller no matter how much you eat. It's called a shirou in Chinese mythology. Anyway, I tried strengthening the lump of clay. I didn't want to fail in front of her, but I only managed to pull it off twice in 10 attempts. It even took me much longer to manifest my magic circuit than I did when Saber was still around. While I practiced strengthening, Tosaka asked me questions such as whether I came up with my own incantation, whether I can use magecraft other than strengthening, how I was trained, what form of mental images what I form mental images of most easily, and so on. And Tosaka's face darkened until she eventually stopped saying anything. I don't know what I did to upset her, but having her make that face this close to mine was very uncomfortable.
遠坂、当然だとは思うんだが、あまりの未熟っぷりに呆れて協力関係になったのを後悔してるとか。
後悔はしてるけど、未熟って言ってもあなたの場合は教え方が間違えられていたっていうか、よくもそんなやり方で今まで命があったっていうか。
おい遠坂、話が見えないぞ。
Why are you glaring at me like that?
いいわ。とにかく根本から直さないとダメみたいね。それとさっきの話だけど、エミヤ君の工房には投影したものがまだ残ってるって本当？
残ってるよ。だって壊さない限り残るだろう、普通。
She asked me that earlier when I mentioned trying projection during breaks when strengthening isn't going well. Tosaka pressed me hard for details about that and, just once, asked me to project something using the clay lump. She asked me to make an earthenware pot. It went well until about halfway, then it failed.
とりあえずエミヤ君にはスイッチのオンオフを仕込んであげる。実際に体内にスイッチを作った方が手っ取り早いから、今夜はうちに泊まっていきなさい。荒療治になるから一晩寝込むことになるし。
一晩寝込むってここでか？
何よその顔。安心なさい。別にメス入れるってわけじゃなくて、ちょっと薬を飲んでもらうだけだから。まあ効果が強すぎるんで、しばらくは動けなくなるけどね。
いや、荒療治が嫌だって話じゃなくてだな。
I look at the clock. It's already past 5 o'clock. I didn't notice because of the cloudy weather, but it's already evening. Tosaka is looking out for me as both an ally and a mage. It's a big help and it makes me happy, but I'm still worried about Sakura back at home. I can't leave Sakura alone any longer. I'm more worried about Sakura. I need to make that clear to Tosaka, even if I feel guilty about it.
遠坂、それうちでやっても構わないか？
うちってエミヤ君の家？
なあ、さくらが風邪で寝込んでるんで様子を見ておきたいんだ。一晩寝込むことになるならうちに帰ってさくらの様子を見ておかないと安心できない。
そういえばそうだった。
She's fed up with me. Of course she would be. I came to her for help and here I am saying I want to go home because it doesn't fit my schedule.
バカ、もっと早く言ってくれたらここまで引き止めなかったのに。
She jolts to her feet, storms over to the coat rack and dons her coat.
行くわよ。うちでやることは済ませたし、あとはエミヤ君の家でもできるわ。さくらの看病が終わったら続きをするから、急いで戻りましょう。
ああ、そうしてもらえると助かる。
それと思い出すのも尺だから今のうちに教えといてあげる。あなたの本文は強化じゃなくて投影よ。どこでどう間違えて何をどう勘違いしているかは知らないけど、あなたは本来作る側に属する魔術師なんだから。
Yep. Tosaka walks briskly down the hallway. I'm a little confused, but I follow her and we depart the historic Tosaka mansion. Interlude. Whose perspective we shoot into now? Oh, Sakura? She looks up at the clock on the wall, the ticking of the second hand ringing keenly in her ears. The time has passed 4 p.m. School got out a long time ago, and it's well past the time he would have gotten home, even if he stopped for groceries.
どうしたんだろう。先輩、遅いな。
She whispers dreamily, leaning against the wall. She moves slowly, feeling dizzy thanks to her fever. She's slightly surprised by her own voice. The clock ticking sounds so loud it grates on her ears, yet she can't hear her own voice very well. That simple noise alone keeps resonating in her earlobes. The steady tick-tock rhythm of the clock, and the badump of her heart straining to pump blood. The two sounds get into her head even if she covers her ears, making the dizziness worse.
おかしいな。風邪、本当に治ってるのに。
That's why she sent the caretaker home. Her temperature was normal when she measured it, and she managed to make lunch on her own. In the afternoon, she felt like her usual self again, and she looked forward to seeing the real master of the house come home. And yet her whole body feels hot. The heat isn't coming from herself, but someplace else. Something between her blood vessels and overlapping muscles, in gaps that shouldn't be there. Something other than herself penetrates deep inside, running like a car engine. Her fever is so hot and so endless, so unlike anything she's ever experienced before, that she can't help but visualize it as such. If you asked her whether it feels bizarre or whether it's uncomfortable, she'd say yes to both. She isn't the only one who feels suffocated. The things creeping between her blood vessels and nerves are having a hard time too. To use an example, they're like puppies trapped in a can full of ground meat, searching for an exit. They're the real cause of her fever. The puppies wriggling in her body, desperately trying to fulfill their function. Ugh. She finds them adorable somehow and can't bring herself to hate the sensation.
時計の音。大きい。
So she's got worms in her too then. She absently stares at the clock. It's now 4:30. Just a little longer. He's sure to be home in another 30 minutes. Before then, she needs to calm her body down and quiet the things running through her body.
大丈夫。こんなの何度もあったんだから。
Yes, she's used to these symptoms. She's experienced them many times since childhood, and she's been taught how to relieve them. That's why she thinks she can calm this down. But the fever doesn't recede, and the things in her move even faster.
やだ。なんかおかしいです。先輩。
Her body won't relax. Everything she's tried before doesn't work. What is she missing? What does she need? What changed? She desperately tries to figure it out, but the ticking is too distracting. She can't think straight.
この
That's an intruder. Finally, she realizes that it isn't the clock, but an alarm emitted by the house itself.
なんだ、エミヤはいないのか。
Oh, fucking
そりゃ都合が
Shinji.
いい。
Someone familiar appears before her, tracking dirt into the house.
おいおい、どうしたさくら。エミヤがいないと思ったらこんなところに一人で。こりゃじいさんの言ってた通り、ライダーを使いすぎた反動かな。
The man enters the living room and walks up to the girl slumped against the wall. She can't put any strength into her muscles. She never had the energy to move to begin with.
迎えに来たよさくら。おままごとの時間は終わりだ。
He looks down on her with a plastic smile.
ほら行こうか。エミヤと肩をつけるんだ。お前もあいつの顔が見たいだろうからさ。特等席で見せてやろうと思ってさ。
The man grabs her arm and drags her to her feet.
いやです。私。
She tries to free her arm, but she doesn't have the strength to even do that. The man drags her along, putting on a pleasant front.
そう怒るなよさくら。妹は兄貴の言うことを素直に聞いておくもんだぞ。
やだ。違う。約束が違う兄さん。先輩にはもう手出ししないって言ったのに。
She protests tearfully. It doesn't sway him. It seems he's set on playing the caring brother, mouth drawn in a thin smile. Caring brother, the game says as he fucking hit her. Seriously, if there is anyone who actually likes Shinji, Fate Stay Night Shinji. Fate Extra Shinji, that's fine. Fate Stay Night Shinji. Go to hell. Sobs spill out from her.
優しいだろう僕は。じいさんから預かったものもあるけど、できればそんなものは使いたくないんだ。
The man pulls the girl outside by the arm.
安心しろって。これも男同士の付き合いってやつさ。約束は守るし、用さえ済めばここに戻っても構わない。ただちょっとさ、こんな状態の妹を放っておく悪いやつにはお灸を据えないと。ね。
The man whispers in a delighted tone, close enough for his lips to touch the girl's ear. She closes her mouth. She knows better than anyone that her brother won't listen to anyone once he's made up his mind.
そうそう。さくらはいいことな。それじゃあ一足先に行っていようか。ここで待つのも悪いし、どうせ遊ぶなら僕の作った陣地に招待しないと。ライダー、さくらを連れてくるんだ。
The man passes the girl to a servant and leaves the living room. The girl looks up. She sees a servant with flowing hair long enough to touch the ground. Oh boy. Man, fuck everything about Shinji Mato.
ただいま。
I announce myself as I enter the house. Suddenly, I'm overcome by a sense of discomfort.
エミヤ君、廊下。
It's clear what caught her attention. In the hallway are marks that look like footprints. Only Sakura's shoes are out front. I didn't see the caretaker's shoes, so they must have gone home.
Sakura.
I go to the guest bedroom. Nobody's inside. Discomfort turns to dread. I go back to the living room. Sakura isn't here either. The tracks in the hallway end in the living room. Someone with dirty feet did something here and then went outside.
エミヤ君、そこの床見て。踏み込んだ跡がここまで。
分かってる。ここにさくらがいた。
Yes, I know. Sakura was here in the living room waiting for me to come home, and now she's gone. There are unfamiliar footprints in the hallway. That's all I know. It's strange that I haven't deduced the situation. The answer should be clear once I take some time to think. Calmly. 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 If I calm down and think, I'll figure out what happened here. But why? Why won't my brain work at all?
ちょっとエミヤ君。
I should have come home earlier. I should have taken this more seriously. Didn't I take Sakura in because I was afraid this would happen? Zokin said that Sakura had nothing to do with this. Why did I believe him? As long as Sakura is one of the Matos, there's no way she isn't related. So why? Why did I accept an explanation that was convenient for me without questioning it at all? The telephone rings. Tosaka keeps quiet. I nod at her and pick up the receiver.
もしもし。やっと帰ってきたの、エミヤ。
Shinji's the caller. There's no doubt about it, and I was expecting this anyway.
さくらをどうした？
あ？どうしたって？迎えに行ったんだよ。あいつは僕の妹なんだから、いつまでも他人の家には置いておけないよ。
シンジ。
いいね。カッカ来てるじゃんか、エミヤ。さくらを連れ戻されて悔しいってわけだ。
Tosaka leans in close as if she can hear what he's saying. I keep her at a distance with one hand and continue the call.
回りくどいのはいい。手っ取り早く要件を言え。
分かってるだろ。いい加減型をつけようぜ、エミヤ。 お前だってこの間の一件で済んだなんて思ってないよな。
いや思ってる。お前は逃げただろう。
Yeah, you ran away like a little bitch.
それでついてるんじゃないのか。
ついていない。あれはサーバントの差だ。お前の力じゃない。セーバーさえいなければ僕が逃げるなんてことはなかった。今だってセーバーさえ出てこなければ僕が負けるはずがない。
If Saber hadn't shown up. I see now. It sounds like Ryder hasn't told him that I lost Saber. Yeah, that's why I came to take her back by force. In other words, this phone call is...
シンジ、さくらをどうする気だ。
物騒なことを言うね。大事な妹にどうもしないさ。
That's a lie. I don't believe that at all.
お前が一人で僕のところに迎えに来るなら。
I hold off Tosaka. If she interrupts this conversation, it'll definitely go off the rails.
つまりセイバー抜きで戦えってことか。
いいね。肝心のところで物分かりがいいから助かるよ。場所は学校だ。いいか、くれぐれも一人で来いよ。ここにはライダーが結界を張
Bounded
っている
field
か
at
ら。
school, of course.
セイバーを連れてくれ
It's
ば
gotta come up in every fucking path, huh?
もっとも、お前がさくらの前でそんな卑怯な真似をするとは思ってないけどね。
I hear snickering over the receiver.
すぐに行くから待ってろ。それと一応聞いておく。お前はマスターか、それともさくらの兄貴か。
そいつは何の冗談だい。僕はマスターだし、いつでも頼れるさくらの兄貴さ。
That's really funny.
お前こそどうな
A
んだ
big
い。
brother she can count on.
お前
Yeah,
はマ
okay.
スターか、それともただの臆病者か。
分かった。マスターとして戦いに行くぞ、シンジ。
ああ、戦いになればの話だけど。
Oh, it's gonna come to a fight. I hang up the phone. Without skipping a beat, I turn on my heel and head straight for the front door.
待ちなさい。本当に一人で行く気なのあんた。
そういう指定だ。登坂、話は後にしてくれ。
後にしろって、それはこっちのセリフよ。シンジがさくらを連れて行ったのは目の前で自分の力を見せつけたいんでしょ。そのまま行けば殺されるわよ。今のシンジに自覚があるかはわからないけど、そんなの見せられたらさくらだってたまんないわ。ここは様子を見て作戦を立てるべきよ。
I know that. But I can't just sit still. His laughing still rings in my ears.
そうか、さくらの前で殺すかな、シンジ。
それはわからないけど可能性は高いわね。エミヤ君大丈夫？あなた冷静そうに見えるけど、もしかして逆上してる？
Yes, he is. Fly off the handle. She's asking me if all I can think of is running to school and punching Shinji in the face. In that case,
逆上してる。他のことが考えられない。今まで兄弟のことだからって口出ししなかった自分にも逆上してる。今のあいつはさくらの兄貴なんかじゃない。そんな奴にさくらを連れて行かれた。あいつから取り返してくれ。登坂は手出ししないでくれ。
I go outside. The sky above is dark and the sun's starting to set. It's definitely going to rain tonight. I need to bring Sakura back with me before then.
待ちなさいってば。あなた一人じゃ助けられるやつも助けられないから、私と手を組むって言ったんじゃないの？
I stop. Her words are like cool water on my boiling head.
すまんけどさくらが危ない。一人じゃ自殺行為だって分かってるけど、こうするしかない。
でしょうね。シンジがさくらを連れている以上、私もおいそれと手は貸せない。けどエミヤ君、あなたが何とかしてシンジからさくらを取り返してくれたのなら、あとは私が何とかする。
なんとかするって信じようか。
シンジじゃなくてライダーよ。サーバントの相手はサーバントがするものでしょ。私はできるだけ近くで身を隠しているから、とにかくさくらを助けてあげて。そしたらたとえ1秒後に殺されるって状況でも絶対にあなたを助けるから。
Thanks, Rin. Tosaka says it like she's trying to convince herself. I know this is going to be a heavy burden on her. I'm asking her help with that in mind, and she's promising to honor our alliance. The reassurance warms my enraged heart. I can count on Tosaka. In exchange, I need to get Sakura out of here unharmed.
分かった。後のフォローは任せる。遠坂。
ええ、けどそれにはあなたがちゃんと無事できちんとさくらを守ってあげてるって条件付きよ。いくらアーチャーでもライダーの相手をしながらさくらを守るなんてできない。自分の身と引き換えにさくらを助けてもそんなの全然意味がないんだから。
There's no sign of anyone on campus. School has been sending students home early ever since the mass coma spread. It's almost 6 p.m. There probably aren't even any teachers still on campus, let alone students.
シンジの居場所は分かるか、遠坂。
あいつの性格から言って校舎の中でしょ。高いところでかつ馴染んだ場所に陣取ってるに決まっ
Probably
て
in
る
our
わ。
classroom. Only one place fits those conditions. Shinji's in a classroom on the 3rd floor.
先に行く。遠坂は後から来てくれ。
ええ、10分経ったら私も正門をくぐるわ。まだ話してなかったけど、ここには結界が張られている。気配を隠したところで見つかっちゃうから、そうならないようにライダーとシンジの注意を引きつけて。
I nod once and start running. I feel hot iron enter my back. I've already activated my magic circuit. I tell my impatient self that my only weapon strengthening is for protecting Sakura, not defeating my enemies. Oh, wow. Really just bringing home being a fucking piece of shit, huh? I stop. On the 3rd floor, I find a dark-clothed servant in Shinji with Sakura next to him. He's holding a knife, its tip pointed at Sakura.
お前。
I move on impulse. My legs start sprinting again. The dark servant rider blocks my path.
止まりなさい。それ以上前に出れば彼女の無事は保証できない。
I force myself to halt. My mouth hurts. I'm grinding my teeth together so hard they're squeaking.
シンジ。
よう、思った通り飛んできたなエミヤ。お前のことだからさ、ああ言えば本当に一人で来ると思ったよ。
My mind goes white hot with rage despite my attempts to suppress it. I feel so dizzy from anger I almost can't see Ryder right in front of me.
なんだよそれ。
Why is he doing this? I'm the one who Shinji hates, right? He didn't need to go to such lengths to call me out here. Sakura is Shinji's sister. A big brother should protect his sister. Close families should help each other and smile together. So why is he doing this? How can a big brother do this to his little sister's feelings? When I couldn't do anything to help.
お前、本気でそんなことやってんのか、シンジ。
当然だろ。本気だからここで待っていたんじゃないか。この後に及んで何寝ぼけてんだよ、お前。
My body leans forward. I won't feel at ease until I run in there right now and pull Sakura away from Shinji. But she's in the way. Ryder blocks my approach to Shinji, protecting him.
わからない人ですね。あなたは何をしに来たのです。この場に訪れたということはマスターの意に従うということ。戦う気があるのなら一人で来るべきではなかったでしょう。
Ryder's completely right. I need to keep a cool head. Since I'm following Shinji's directions, I need to focus only on saving Sakura, not beating Shinji. I take a deep breath and relax. Holding Sakura close, Shinji enjoys my apparent dismay. Sakura hangs her head, not looking up at me. I'm sure she isn't unconscious, right? She's standing on her own 2 legs. She's just looking down because she can't raise her head.
シンジ、お前さくらに俺たちのことを話したのか。
I glare at him without hiding my anger.
は？そうか。ああ、そういうことか。ああ、安心しろよエミヤ。お前が黙っているもんだからさ、ちゃんと1から10まで話してやったよ。僕たちがマスターで今まで殺し合いをしてきたってさ。隠しておきたかったのかい？バーカ、そんなのバレるに決まってるじゃんか。こいつさ、お前が何か隠してるって気づいてたらしいぜ。けど
Sakura turns away, gritting her teeth so that she won't look up.
さあ、遠慮せずに聞けよさくら。今のエミヤは隠し事なんてできないぜ。ほら、念願叶ったりだろうが。
Sakura keeps her mouth shut. So she keeps staring at the floor because...
ん？何黙ってるんだよお前。いいから聞いてみろよ。エミヤがお前のことどう思ってるか。お前が薄汚いマトウの女って知って嫌われたかどうか。
シンジ！
She looks like she's apologizing to me. I can't take this anymore.
もういいだろう。約束通り来たんだ。さくらを話せ。
はあ？約束なんてしてないよ。したのは命令さ。一人で来ればさくらには何もしないってそう言っただけじゃないか。そう睨むなよエミヤ。僕だって鬼じゃない。妹を取り返したいっていうお前の気持ちは嬉しいからね。お前が誠意を見せるなら僕も答えるよ。ことが終わればさくらはこのまま連れて返してやってもいい。
そうか、それは約束だなシンジ。
ああ、お前が言う通りにするんならさくらは話す。これは約束だ。必ず守る。
I don't buy that for a second.
分かった。で、お前の要件ってのは何だ？ここで土下座でも。
そんなのいらないよ。男に頭を下げられて何が嬉しいって言うんだ。僕は戦うためにお前を呼び出したんだ。言っただろ？いい加減肩をつけようってさ。
Ryder takes a step forward. She isn't exhibiting hostility or bloodlust. She merely advances on her master's orders.
けど、ただやり合うのもつまらないだろ。僕は魔術師じゃないから不公平だし。ただの喧嘩じゃ僕が勝つのは分かりきってるしさ。だからここは公平を期して、そいつの相手をしてもらうことにしたんだ。
Go fuck yourself. You gotta be kidding me. He wants me, a regular person, to go up against Ryder. He may as well ask me to kill myself.
何？命までは取らないさ。ライダーには手加減するように言ってある。ま、これからうろちょろされるのも目障りだから、2、3本は折らせてもらうけど。
Ryder isn't armed with her daggers. Apparently, she really is holding back.
簡単だろ？ただバカみたいに殴られてればいいんだ。ああ、けど簡単には倒れるなよ、エミヤ。僕が満足する前に気絶なんかしたら、さくらは僕が連れて帰ることになるからね。
Ryder closes in. In just 3 seconds, I'll be within her reach.
抵抗はするな。けど簡単に倒れるなか。矛盾してるぞシンジ。お前何がしたいんだ？
そんなの決まってるじゃないか。僕はさ、単にお前をぶちのめしたいだけなんだよ。
Oh, but you can't be fucking bothered to do it yourself, you fucking bitch. Ryder pounces. I raise my hands and brace for a beating. Instantly, a shocking impact pierces my right arm, threatening to tear off my shoulder. She targeted my arm, which was protecting my head. It's still attached, nothing is dismembered yet, but it's completely paralyzed and I can't feel a thing. I force myself back to my senses. Unarmed, I don't have a chance in hell. I need to strengthen something and protect myself if I want to stay in one piece. The next attack will finish me if I can't at least turn my thin school uniform into iron, or at least harden my defenseless body. My left arm protecting my head dips. The sledgehammer-like strike smashes through my strengthened clothes and nearly breaks my limb. In the space of a single breath, she disabled both of my arms. No, I can still move them, but I can't feel anything. With reactions this sluggish, I can't use my arms to protect myself from Ryder anymore. If she goes for the face next, it'll be an instant knockout. Ryder is merciless. She rains down fists on me, following Shinji's orders. The mechanical way she does it makes her seem like a machine spinning its arms. With arms that can't move properly, I do my best to guard my face. Ryder's fists were never something I could predict and block anyway. I just need to focus on protecting my head so that I don't get knocked out. What is Ryder thinking, I wonder? She doesn't go for the numerous gaps in my defense. All she does is keep pounding my arms and my unprotected stomach. The agony is enough to make me faint, but it isn't the same force that rendered my arms numb. That's weird. I saw how strong Ryder was at Ryudo Temple. She could have cut me in half if she wanted. Maybe she's just holding back like Shinji said. She might be avoiding my head to keep from knocking me out too early. But this still isn't like her. In fact, she's an order of magnitude weaker. The raw magical energy that servants give off is enough to make my skin crawl. At Ryudo Temple, Ryder was a formidable servant. But the Ryder attacking me now is the same Ryder who lost to Saber in the park. I don't know why that is, but this is my chance to turn the tables on Shinji. I stumble forward. Like someone tired of beating on a sandbag, Ryder steps in and lays a heavy uppercut into my stomach. It's like a pile driver hollowing out my insides. That one really hurt. My not yet healed injuries from last night scream out in pain. The blow makes me vomit gastric juices and I go weak at the knees.
どうした？それで終わりかいエミヤ。さくらの前なんだからしっかりしろよ。そんなんじゃ全然格好つかないじゃないか。
I really want you to die a horrible, gruesome death, you pathetic little man. No, not man. You pathetic little insect. I feel myself pitch forward. Ryder backs off slightly and watches me collapse. But I grab Ryder's arms and force myself to keep standing.
いいぞエミヤ。ゴキブリ並みのしぶとさだ。お前本当に面白いぜ。
Damn, that one really got me good. I'm dizzy and I didn't even get hit in the head.
ああ、けどまあ、見せ物としちゃ三流だったな。このまま続けても同じことの繰り返しだ。そろそろ飽きてきたし、あとは豪快な KO シーンで締めくくろうか。
The same thing. You gotta be kidding. Our positions are completely different now. Can't you even tell that our positions are reversed since I pulled myself up using Ryder's arms?
距離は5メートルほどです。我慢強いあなたの勝ちですね。
Huh? I look up. What did Ryder just say to me?
休憩は終わりだ。第2ラウンドだぜ。
Oh, it's because we're closer to Shinji now? Ryder shakes off my hands. The servant in black dress resumes her robotic assault. I'm driven backwards. Each of Ryder's strikes avoids any vital points that would end the fight. I'm numb all over. Internal bleeding forms dark bruises where she hits me, and I can't even feel the pain anymore. It's because the pain lingering inside me is stronger than the external pain she's inflicting. Ryder is mercilessly destroying my body from within. The servant utters emotionlessly and moves in. That's when I fully understand. This isn't what Shinji wants. She isn't avoiding aiming for my head, or leaving me just barely mobile, because Shinji ordered her to.
いいぞ。もう手加減はなしだ。殺せライダー。
Ryder takes a step forward, her long hair dancing through the air. Then she hits me with a thrust to the chest unlike anything I've experienced so far. I can't breathe. My feet leave the ground. I nearly black out from the punch, even though I saw it coming. Ryder sends me flying. As I sail through the air, I hear a muffled scream and a delighted guffaw. Sakura's voice is much closer now. I fall. On any other day, I would be dead as soon as I hit the floor. She wouldn't even need the impact of the fall to kill me. It's an attack that sent a whole human being flying. I'd expected to punch a gaping hole through my chest on impact. But I'm still alive. She went out of her way to time the punch so perfectly anyone could have jumped back at the same time. That attack wasn't meant to kill me. Ultimately, it was Ryder, not Shinji, who decided to avoid hitting me in the face and keep attacking me in a way that allowed me to keep moving. I'm at a perfect distance. Just before I hit the ground, I twist my body in midair and... grab the knife blade in front of me with my left hand. My left palm wraps around the blade. It's already numb, so the sensation of metal cutting flesh doesn't bother me. I bring my right arm around in a wild swing. Paying no heed to my left hand being sliced open, I slug Shinji squarely in the face with my clenched right fist. I throw the knife aside. Trying not to look at my wound, I run to Sakura's side.
Sakura!
Sakura is sitting on the ground lifelessly, not looking up. She's avoiding talking to me. I don't know if that's because of Shinji or if it's because I've been hiding things from her. All I know is that Sakura has had a fever since this morning.
ええ、話は後にしよう。今は家に帰って、それで。
そこまでよ。勝負あったわね、シンジ。
A voice interrupts me. I heard Tosaka from behind. She must have arrived at some point. Ryder is crouched on the floor, wounded by Archer. Her clothes are soaked in blood. Doesn't look immediately fatal, but she probably can't fight anymore.
Tosaka?
Tosaka, yo, Rin, fucking squash that bug over there. Cause I'm sick of this shit.
約束を破りやがったな、エミヤ。一人で来いって言ったのに。
そうね。けど、あれは約束じゃなくて命令だったんでしょ？なら、エミヤ君を卑怯者呼ばわりするのは筋違いだわ。
そんなのは詭弁だ。エミヤは一人で来るって言ったんだ。なら一人で来るのは当然じゃないか。
And whose fault is that?
いいけどね。確かに私とエミヤ君は一緒だったけど、何もエミヤ君が助けを求めたわけじゃないわ。ここに来たのは。
嘘つけ。呼びもしないお前がどうしてくる。エミヤのやつ、バカ正直なふりして僕を騙したんだろうが。
ああ、それ？そんなの単純よ。あの電話の時ね、隣に私もいたの。マトウ君声大きいんだもの。エミヤ君が隠してても聞こえちゃった。満足いった？さくらが連れて行かれた以上、私がおとなしくしているわけないでしょ。あんたはエミヤ君をおびき寄せる代わりに完全に私を敵に回したってことよ。
なんだよ、お前もさくらかよ。さくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくら、信じられない。お前もエミヤと同類かよ。よく見ろ、僕はマスターになったんだ。
You're a pest.
お前もマスターなら気にかけるのはさくらじゃなく僕だけだって決まってるんだよ。
そう。じゃあ自慢のサーバントに戦わせたら？
Yeah, come on, Mr. Master. Order Ryder to fight.
アーチャーは腹を裂いただけよ。 具現化の確たる心臓と首は壊していない。あなたが一人前のマスターなら今すぐにでもライダーを直してあげなさい。
この言わせておけば。
Shinji backs away from us and holds out a book.
あれは
Shinji's command spell, the book that burnt to ashes in the park. He still had another one?
立てライダー、マスターの命令だ。立ってアーチャーを倒せ。
She doesn't answer. Ryder stays where she is, unmoving. A crimson pool of blood grows at her feet. Right now it's Ryder, not Shinji, who needs help. Ordering her to fight would only hasten her demise.
このお前は僕のサーバントだろう。なら死ぬまで戦えよ、間抜け。
Shinji clenches the book tightly. As if that's how he uses his command spell, Ryder's body starts convulsing, trying to stand up.
やめろ、もう無理だ。諦めろシンジ。それ以上はライダーが持たない。
こいつらが簡単にくたばる弾か。さあさくらを返してもらうぞ。
Shinji doesn't rescind his order. I let go of Sakura's hand and start to run at Shinji again. But when I do,
ダメ。もうそれ以上は。
さくら
I stop and turn to face her. Sakura cries out in anguish. And Shinji's book bursts into flame, just like it did that night. Gusts of wind howl through the corridor. They come from Ryder, who should have been sprawled on the ground, and Sakura.
嘘。これがライダー？
On edge, Tosaka and Archer watch their newly arisen foe. Ryder is completely healed. The pressure emanating from her is exactly the same as what I witnessed at Ryudo Temple. Suddenly, she vanishes into thin air. Ryder instantly vanishes from my field of view.
変脈伏せて。
I duck in response to the warning and see long hair streak overhead.
さくら
In an instant, Ryder leaps away with Sakura in her arms. She lands opposite me and Tosaka, slightly forward of where Shinji is standing.
なんだよお前、僕の命令は戦えって。
いいえ、そのような命令はありません。
And there it is.
私はサーバントとして主の身を守
Ryder's
ってあげ
actual
ます。
master is Sakura. Ryder lets Sakura down and glances at Shinji. Despite the leather blindfold covering her eyes, her gaze is ice cold.
バカ言うな。お前の主は僕だ。僕を守らないで何を勝手に。
シンジ、コマンドスペルはマスターの体に現れるもの。私はその身に成功を持たないものをマスターと認めたことは一度もありません。
だと
あなたは偽物です。疑心の書が失われた以上あなたには付き合えない。
Then Ryder turns her back on Shinji. The gesture declares that she will never look at him again.
そういうことだったのね、ライダー。
推測通りです、アーチャーのマスター。ですがあなたならとうに気づいていたのではないですか。
ええ、おかしいとは思ってたわ。魔党の人間からマスターが出るはずはない。魔党の血はもう廃れてしまって魔術を扱える人間は輩出されないから。だから魔党の人間であるシンジは絶対にマスターにはなれないはずだった。なのにライダーは召喚され魔党の人間がマスターに選ばれた。そうね、私は魔党造剣があなたを召喚してシンジに預けているのかと思ってたけど、話はもっと簡単なのよ。造剣は手を下すまでもない。だって今の魔党家において最もマスターにふさわしい人間は。
Tosaka isn't looking at Ryder. Her eyes are directed at
魔党の正当な後継者、今代の魔術師であるあなただものね、さくら。
None other than Sakura. I can't form any coherent words. Tosaka and Sakura. I look back and forth between them both, unable to process anything more than what I just heard. My left hand hurts. Finally, my mind slows down enough to realize that I'm holding a knife in my left hand by the blade. Oh. I really am slow. Even after hearing Tosaka's words and seeing the command spells on Sakura's right hand, I don't even feel surprised. All I can think is, why? Why is this happening? Sakura seems to shrink away, still not raising her face. Her body language seems to apologize to me for not telling me sooner. Transferring command spells in order to obey Shinji Mato. That's how Ryder became Shinji's servant, while Sakura temporarily gave up her authority as a master and went back to being a mere mage. When Tosaka looked at Sakura's hand, she had already transferred her command spell to Shinji. Sakura bites her lip. In response,
くそ、もう一度ださくら。もう一度僕に支配権を譲るんだ。
Dude, go fuck yourself. Shinji runs to her, begging.
おい、何黙ってんだよ。お前は戦う気はないんだろ。マスターになるのは嫌だって散々言ったから、僕が代わりに引き受けてやったんじゃないか。それを今さら何言いこぶってんだよお前は。
It's like he's tearing off the mask of being her brother. His fury pours out like through a broken dam. There's no need to stop it anymore.
ライダー、お前僕に逆らうのか。
How many times do you have to say it for you to understand? You're not her master, fuck ass.
あなたは私のマスターではありません、シンジ。たとえ兄でもさくらに手を挙げようとするのなら排除されるだけの存在です。
Big fan of that option, Ryder. Do it. Ryder lets go of Shinji, who had been clinging to her arm. He staggers backwards.
そうかよ。後悔するぞライダー。お前が何と言おうと、さくらが本を作れば元通りだ。お前が僕のサーバントに戻った時どうなるか分かって。
無駄よシンジ。他人に、しかも魔術師でもない人間にサーバントを預けることは不可能に近いわ。それを可能にしていたのがコマンドスペルによる譲渡だった。
分かってるじゃないか。レイジはあと一つあるんだ。さくらは僕の言うことなら聞く。それで
だからもう終わりなのよ。さくらの刻印はあと一つしかない。それを使ってしまったらライダーを止める手段がなくなってしまう。そうなったライダーは自由よ。レイジで作った偽物の命令権なんかじゃサーバントは縛れない。ライダーに命令したところでさっきみたいに本が燃えておしまいよ。
And before she disappears, I guarantee Ryder's probably just gonna fucking kill you.
それじゃあ僕は。
ええ、あなたがマスターになるチャンスはなくなったわ。いえ、借り物のレイジでライダーを操っていたあなたは初めからマスターなんかじゃなかったのよ。
The cracks spread throughout. With a virtually palpable crack, Shinji Mato's very existence crumbles to dust.
そうか。初めから無理だったのか。そうだよな。僕には魔術も才能はない。ジジイからは失敗作扱いされて妹には同情される始末だった。
So you took it on the sister who cares about you?
そうだよ。当然だ。
Fuck you.
分かってた分かってた分かってた分かってた。こんなの初めっから務まりっこないって分かってたさ。
兄さん。
い
いさ。気にするなよさくら。こんなのは遊びだ。僕に才能がないってことは分かってた。マトウの後継ぎはお前だもんな。僕がしゃしゃり出ることはなかったんだ。
兄さん。
ああ、分かってる。分かってるさ。だからさくら、この続きはお前がやるんだ。僕の代わりにこいつらと戦えってことさ。いいかさくら、エミヤも遠坂も敵だ。お前がマトウの後継者なら今何をするべきか分かっているだろう。
シンジ、あんたここまで言ってもわからないの？さくらは戦わないし、あんたにもう目はない。ライダーがいない以上、私たちもあんたには手を出さない。あとはおとなしく聖杯戦争が終わるまで隠れてなさい。
お前には聞いてない。さあさくら、言うことを聞いてくれよ。可愛い僕の妹だろ。
She doesn't answer. Sakura clutches one arm to herself and turns away from Shinji.
もうやめましょう、兄さん。
And firmly rejects him.
さくら、お前今なんて言った？
嫌です。兄さんは約束を破りました。先輩は殺さないって言ったのに、その約束を破ったんです。だからもう。
Sakura doesn't look at him. Shinji stares blankly at her, then laughs. In that second, I feel an awful chill.
ならお前の好きなようにしてやるよ。
There's a sound of glass breaking near Sakura. Oh! Sakura collapses. She drops to the ground, the strength gone from her legs.
じゃあなさくら、恨むなら僕じゃなくジジイを恨んでくれ。何、どうせいつかはそうなるんなら今楽になった方が幸せかもよ。
Shinji runs off. She clutches her hands to her chest painfully. The earring she was wearing broke and some liquid drug splashed on her. Sakura trembles on her knees. She shudders violently like a building being shaken by an earthquake, looking like she might fall apart any second.
Sakura!
I don't know what's happening. I just try to run to her side.
たけ、この状況がわからんのか貴様。
I stop. At some point, Archer got behind me. He grabs my shoulder.
ここから離れろ。下手に糧を与えては戻せなくなる。
He pushes me back and says something odd.
糧なんだよそれ。お前一体。
My question is answered before I can finish it. The hallway is dyed red. The haze hanging over us becomes a mist that wets my skin, covering the walls in what looks like a honey-like sweat. My skin burns. This air, this red world is a realm made of magecraft. Without a doubt, it's some unknown bounded field that will melt everyone in it.
どうさかこれ。
I can't breathe. Or rather, when I try, the mist enters my throat and burns me from the inside.
シンジが学校に仕掛けてた結界ね。もっともシンジからさくらにマスターが変わって威力が段違いになってるけど。
I look back. At the end of the dark red passage is Sakura on the ground, looking like she's trying to pry something from her chest. And Ryder facing us as if to protect Sakura.
そこをどけライダー。お前の主は暴走している。他人の味を知る前に止めねば癖になるぞ。
お断りします。私の役目はマスターの守護です。 あなたがさくらを殺そうとする以上ここを通すわけにはいかない。
ほう、みすみす主を死なせるのか。お前のマスターは著しく魔力を消費していっている。放っておけば。
いいえ、失う魔力より多くの魔力を摂取すれば幸いここには魔術師が2人いる。シンジは逃がしましたが彼らはもう逃げられない。さくらが虫に食われる前あなたのマスターを私がもらい受けましょ
う。主が変わったところで少年は変わらんか。他人の命より自分が可愛いと見える。
それはあなたもでしょう。私のマスターより自身のマスターを守ろうとしている。
なるほど。ではお互い気兼ねをする必要はないわけだ。
Archer charges. Not heeding the stomach-like bounded field, the Red Knight runs at Sakura and clashes with Ryder.
父さんがいいのか。あいつライダーと戦いだしたぞ。
そりゃ戦うしかないでしょう。このままだと私もあなたも持たないもの。それに同じ魔術師としてさくらが下道に落ちるのは何としても止めないと。
Fall down what path? Is she talking about the association's laws against abusing magecraft or Sakura dying because her magic circuits are out of control?
待て、なんだよそれ。なんでさくらが。
だから暴走してるのよあの子。この結界はライダーが作ったものだけど動かしてるのはさくらってこと。シンジが何をしたかは知らないけど今のさくらは見境なしよ。きっとさくらも私たちと一緒なんでしょうね。ただ苦しいから酸素が欲しくて他人の酸素を吸いたがってる。そんなの冬木の管理者として放っておけない。
放っておけないって。お前さくらをどうする気だ。
それはアーチャーに聞いて。私にはああなった魔術師を止める方法は一つしかない。けどアーチャーなら何か他の方法があるのかもしれない。まあどちらにせよその前にライダーを何とかしないとね。見たところアーチャーの方が強いんだけどアーチャーのやつなんか出力が落ちてるみたい。
Wonders the bounded field draining him too.
出力が落ちてる。
I return my attention to the duel. Even I can tell that Archer is overwhelming her. Archer was always the stronger servant, so I'd never expect Ryder to put pressure on him. And yet, that impression lasts only for a second. Ryder's weapon is her agility, so a defensive battle like the one she's fighting now shouldn't be her forte. Ryder's greatest strength is her blindingly fast assaults, so she isn't suited to defense. It's odd that Archer hasn't already beaten her and reached Sakura. Could the fact that this hasn't happened yet mean that Archer's the one on the defensive? Archer's sword slices empty air. Ryder's hair whips to and fro as she evades his swords, simultaneously stepping in to cut Archer. But she isn't the only one who's mastered simultaneous evasion and offense. Archer's right-hand sword parries her dagger, pushing Ryder back. One step gained, one step lost. Their offense and defense are roughly even. The clash of blades continues to echo through the building, with neither fighter able to gain an advantage. Archer's the one getting desperate, though. His energy is steadily getting drained by the bounded field while he fails to defeat a weaker opponent. On top of that, Tosaka and I are at our breaking point. Breathing is hard enough, and I feel my consciousness slipping away the longer I stay in this hallway. At this rate, we're going to collapse before Archer can beat Ryder. Archer clicks his tongue scornfully. Then Ryder stops.
あなたの力は分かった。残念ですが、今のあなたでは私を倒せない。
Ryder declares, almost regretfully.
何？
あなたでは勝てないと言ったのです。あなたは宝具を使わない。あなたのマスターが使用を禁じているのか、 あなた自身がさくらを気遣っているのかは知りません。ただ使わない以上はここで終わりです。あなたは私には勝てないでしょう。
Ryder stops her feet, her only weapon, and faces Archer. She looks so defenseless, like Archer could finish this match with a single slash.
お前の主を気遣ったつもりはない。単に使う必要がないだけだ。お前とて宝具は使えまい。先ほどまで麻藤真司がマスターだったお前では宝具を使うだけの魔力が溜まっていないからな。
そうですね。真司という主では私に魔力を与えられなかった。そのため現在私の宝具は使えません。
そういうことだ。使わぬ相手に対して魔力を消費することもない。次でお前を切り伏せ、あの娘を切り伏せればそれで終わる。
ええ。ではそういうことにしておきましょう。アーチャー、私としてもその方が気兼ねなく手を下せる。
Ryder's tone is serene throughout the exchange. What is she planning? She faces Archer without even taking up a stance with her daggers. I notice a slight movement behind her.
さくら、あなたはそこで耐えていてください。後のことは全て私が解決します。
やめて、もうやめて、ライダー。私こんなことがしたくてあなたを呼んだんじゃない。
その命令は聞けません。私は何よりあなたの命を優先する。
Ryder raises her arm. She's 4 meters from Archer. Maintaining that distance, the servant raises a hand to her face.
それにこれはあなたが望んだことでしょう、さくら。
She undoes her black restraint. Suddenly, everything freezes. Ryder's eyes. They're inhuman. Even among the rare mystic eyes, they're orbits of the highest order. Ashen eyes. Her eyeballs are so different they could be mistaken for crystals. Lightless corneas. Rectangular pupils connecting to the outside world. Her irises freeze, not allowing her eyes to close. Hundreds of millions of retinal cells conveying optical information are made of ether, the sixth imaginary factor. Is it a work of art crafted by the gods' affection, or an inborn trait marked of their divine ire? Ryder's gray eyes are an incomparable aberration, and yet terribly beautiful. Archer stiffens. Is it because he faced her eyes head-on at that short distance? He tries to close his eyes, but the eyelids have already hardened, and he can't move his arms to cover his face. He could try to advance and kill Ryder, but his legs have already petrified up to his thighs.
嘘、石化の魔眼。
Tosaka almost screams in shock. She's next to me, and I don't know what face she's making. My own eyes are drawn in by Ryder's mystic eyes, and I can't look away. My blood congeals. My bodily fluids solidify, and I lose sensation. Mystic eyes. They are single-action magecraft possessed by some mages. Eyes, organs that normally function as receptors of information from the outside world, are transformed to enact an effect from oneself to the outside world. In short, they're items that forcibly cast magecraft on whatever's in their field of vision, and the effects are amplified if the range the target makes eye contact with mystic eyes. That peculiarity makes them feared as things one must never look directly at, since that very act will trap oneself in the user's magecraft. Because of their concealability and power, mystic eyes are viewed among mages as a proof of a first-rate practitioner. The techniques needed to remake one's eyes into magic circuits are worthy of a magic crest. Of course, artificial mystic eyes are limited to charm and whisper effects. Powerful mystic eye bearers are limited to those born with their eyes. Binding, compulsion, contract, burning, illusion, misfortune. Mystic eyes with such power to interfere with others' destinies are termed noble colors, and petrification is one of the highest orders among them. There are no modern mages who possess such eyes. Few mages can even perform petrification with magecraft. Imagine how monumental it is, then, to be able to petrify things simply by seeing them. Breaker Gorgon, self-sealed dark temple. It takes a godly power to seal a divine curse. These are demonic eyes, possessed only by demonic beasts and holy spirits from the age of gods. A magecraft-based noble phantasm that is the one and only signature of the heroic spirit Medusa, who could turn anyone she saw to stone. There's the true name. Petrified up to his hips, Archer shouts a warning. Across from him, behind Ryder with her unleashed mystic eyes, some dark red wave begins to spread.
そんなこと言われても
Tosaka moves sluggishly. Something bad flows down the hallway toward us. The wave narrows like a spear and makes a beeline for Tosaka. She's going to die. Tosaka can't take a single step. Maybe she's been enchanted by the mystic eyes even worse than I am. That spear is going to pierce her through the chest, and she can't do a thing about it. Her fate a few seconds from now flashes before my eyes, so... I pull Tosaka back. There's no time to think. My legs move and my arms still work. I just need to move up and pull Tosaka back. Tosaka doesn't even twitch when I grab her arm. She's heavier than she looks. I can't budge her even with two hands. That's all I can do. You shoulder tackle her out of the way. I hear a dull impact.
何してんのよあんたは
I can't hear Tosaka's voice. My body is hot. My vision gets all soft and twisty like I've caught a serious fever.
先輩
I think I hear a familiar voice far away. I'm losing my grip on reality. In my white, hazy mind, the blood coming from my left arm mixes like paint on a canvas.
いや
With her hands clenched at her chest, Sakura stares in shock at me on the ground. I see her fall like a puppet with its strings cut. Sitting on one of the church pews, I nod wordlessly.
そうなら治療の必要はないわねあとは体力と一緒に回復するだろうからおとなしくしていなさい
Tosaka takes a seat a slight distance from me, but our emotional distance is many times wider. We're just waiting in the chapel for Kotomine, not making small talk. When I try to clench my left hand, it twitches numbly. The pain feels like a nail was driven through my palm. My left hand hurt more from gripping the knife than the dull pain of Ryder's beating or Sakura stabbing me through the left arm. Dark clouds obscure the night sky. They seem like rain clouds announcing an imminent shower. The spear-like thing that attacked Tosaka was apparently Sakura's magecraft. The Matos passed down absorption magecraft through their family. Sakura unconsciously unleashed her magecraft because she was suffering from magical energy deficiency. She targeted Tosaka because she had the most magical energy there. When I pushed Tosaka out of the way and that thing touched me, it caught my left arm and drained me dry of my power. Magical energy is life energy. It stands to reason that one would collapse if it was taken away. Already exhausted from fighting Ryder, I fainted right away. Then Tosaka brought us to the church. She says that Sakura lost consciousness at the same time I did.
あの子自分に攻撃したのよ
Tosaka murmurs, explaining that Sakura is being treated in the back of the church. Sakura seems to be in serious condition. She collapsed after being exposed to the liquid that splashed on her from the earrings. Kotomine is cleansing her of it while we wait. Tosaka doesn't speak. Archer isn't present and Ryder is gone too. It's just Tosaka and I in the church waiting for Kotomine.
遠坂
From my seat, I call out to her.
何
聞きたいことがある
でしょうね いいわ、話してあげる。隠していても仕方がないし、もうその意味もなくなったし。聞きたいのはさくらのこと？
I nod. Tosaka sighs quietly and begins explaining in her usual tone.
発端はずいぶん前よ。マトウの血が薄れ出して、生まれてくる子供に魔力、魔術回路が少なくなっていたの。もともとマトウはよその魔術師だから、日本の土が合わなかったんでしょう。この町に根を下ろしてからマトウの衰退が始まって、今代の後継者である神事になって、ついに魔術回路そのものが消え失せた。マトウの歴史はそれで終わったのよ。マトウが追い求めたものを継承するだけなら弟子でも何でも取ればよかった。けどマトウは名門だし、外部からの受け入れを拒否し続けた。結果生まれてくる跡継ぎの魔力は落ちていって、最後には完全に魔力が尽きてしまった。そうなってから弟子を取ろうとしたけど、落ちぶれた名門に来る魔術師はいなかったわ。何百年も続いたっていうマトウ、マキリの歴史はそこで終わるはずだった。けどそれで諦められるような人たちじゃなかったのね。シンジのお父さんは外から養子を取って、その子にマトウの魔術を伝えたのよ。で、エミヤ君のところは特殊だから知らないだろうけど、魔術師の家系は一子相伝なの。跡継ぎにするって決めた子供以外には決して魔術は教えない。これはゾウケンも言ってたでしょ。もし兄弟だったらどちらかを後継者にして、どちらかは普通に育てるか養子に出すって。
They don't need two heirs. So if there was a brother and sister, no, two sisters, then what would happen to the child who wasn't chosen? I'm sure that families raise the sibling while hiding magecraft from them, but that's difficult and inefficient. A lineage that has cultivated its blood and magic circuits for generations might produce children with excellent genes. Even if they aren't chosen as the heir, it would be wrong to let those talents go to waste. Then they would...
遠坂。
そう、私一つ下の妹がいたの。衰退したマトウには養子を取るあてなんかないでしょ。そうなったマトウが古くから盟約を結んでいた遠坂を頼りにするのは道理よね。父さんがどっちを後継者にするつもりだったかはわからない。ただ私は遠坂に残って、あの子はマトウにもらわれていった。それが11年前の話。それ以来あの子とはまともに会えなかった。マトウとの取り決めでね、もうあの子はマトウの後継者だからむやみに会うなって言われてたの。
そうか。それじゃあ遠坂とさくらは
実の姉妹よ。まあ一度もそんな風に呼び合ったことはないけどね。
I can't know the depth of feelings of pain. I can't know the depth of feelings behind those plain words. But it all makes sense now. How she's always asking after Sakura. Why she didn't let Archer use his noble phantasm.
よかった。遠坂、さくらの味方なんだ。
The revelation is like a beacon in the darkness. I don't know what's going to happen to Sakura, what we should do with her. But in this dark labyrinth of indecision, knowing that Tosaka cares about Sakura is a ray of hope.
いいえ、私あの子の味方でも何でもないわ。
But then, Tosaka says something in a hard tone as if reading my mind.
味方じゃない。
ええ、このままさくらが治らないのなら敵として処理するだけよ。無差別に人を襲う魔術師なんて放っておけるわけがないでしょう。綺麗がさくらを治療できなかったら、その時は私が処理する。
何言ってやがるお前。さくらはお前の妹だろう。殺すなんて、そんなこと間違っても口にするな。
さくらはマトウの娘よ。11年前からとっくに私の妹じゃない。
遠坂、お前。
仮にあなたの言う通り肉親として関係があるとしても結果は変わらない。それこそ あなたが口出しできる話じゃないわ。
それじゃあ紳士と
No different than Shinji. I can't bring myself to make the awful comparison aloud.
何をしている。手術は済んだが患者は未だ危険な状態だ。騒ぐのなら外でするがいい。
Kirei Kotomina emerges from the church's inner rooms.
キレさくらは。
まったくいがみ合っているのか息が合っているのかお前たちは分からんな。
そんなのあんたの勘違いよ。
Are we?
そうか。では座れ。的尾さくらの容体を説明する。
We sit separately, our attention mutually trained on the priest's next words.
簡単に説明すれば、的尾さくらの体内には虫が混入している。この虫は刻印虫と呼ばれるものだ。人為的に作られた蚕糸のようなものだが、聞き覚えはあるか。
I shake my head. He explains that the 3 corpses are demonic parasites that live in a human's body, reporting their evil deeds to hell. That does sound familiar, but I've never heard of crestworms before.
知らないか。まあ、本来は害のないただの寄生虫だ。宿主から魔力を食い、活動を続けるだけの使い魔でな。宿主の存命を発信するだけの使い魔としては最低位のものだ。
魔術で作った監視装置みたいなものね。
Okay. So, they're so Zoken can keep an eye on her.
ゾウケンはそれでさくらを監視してるってこと？
おや、刻印虫の主が的尾造剣だといつ決まったのかな。
Huh?
悪いけど今はあんたの長話に付き合ってる気分じゃないの。あのジジイ以外誰がさくらにそんなもの植え付けるっていうのよ。
なるほど、それは確かに。的尾真司では刻印虫は扱えん。となれば使い手はあの吸血虫以外いないな。
でしょ。いいから結論を言って、さくらは助かるのか助からないのか。
気が早いな、リン。お前は彼女の容体を把握しているようだが、そこの少年は別だ。彼のためにも。
Tosaka looks away uncomfortably. That tells me she doesn't want me to know what's wrong with Sakura.
さて、どうするエミヤシロ。リンは結論だけを聞きたいと言っているが。
いや、順序立てて説明してくれ、琴峰。
I feel bad for Tosaka, but I won't budge on this point. If Sakura's life is at stake, then I need to know everything.
では続きだ。先ほど説明した刻印虫だがな。これが的尾さくらの神経を蝕んでいるのだ。11年間的尾さくらの体内で育てられた結果だろう。刻印虫は魔術回路に似た神経となり、本来の神経と絡み合いながら全身に行き渡っている。この刻印虫から魔術刻印と化したものは通常停止しており、的尾さくらには何の影響も及ぼさない。だがひとたび作動すれば的尾さくらの神経を侵し、その魔力を糧に動き続ける。先ほどの状態はそれだ。体内に刻印虫が徘徊し、生命力たる魔力を奪っていった。あの状態が半日も続けば的尾さくらは死んでいただろう。動力である魔力を吸い尽くした刻印虫はさらなる栄養として的尾さくら自身を狙う。魔力を空にされた的尾さくらは次にその体を虫に奪われるということだ。その痛みがどれほどであるかは魔術刻印を持つお前ならばわかるだろう。人体は爪の先ほどの異物が混入しただけで不快感を訴え、時に生命活動そのものに支障をきたす。神経の至るところに違う神経が混ざり、それが動き出す不快感など 吐き気だけで死に至るほどだろうな。その点で言えば先ほどまで的尾さくらの意識があったのは驚きだ。的尾さくらは意志が強いのか、それとも刻印中の発動に慣れているのか、そのあたりは本人に聞かねばわかるまい。
I hear a noise. It turns out I've been grinding my teeth. He thinks I can understand her pain if I have a magic crest. How the hell am I supposed to know that? I break out into a full-body sweat every time I insert a single magic circuit. Sakura's ordeal is many times worse. Someone like me could never even imagine the depths of her pain.
待って、作動すればって言ったわね。じゃあ刻印中は普段活動していないの？
かけられた薬物は刻印中を目覚めさせるだけのものだ。刻印中は監視役に過ぎない。あれは宿主である的尾さくらがある条件を破った時のみ制裁として活動を開始する。
So they're not only for surveillance, but for keeping her in line, too. I don't think I can listen to the priest talk any longer. I know it isn't his fault, but hearing him describe this makes me want to punch him. I struggle to suppress the impulse and ask.
それはどんな？
I press him to get to the point.
的尾さくらが倒れ、凛はそれを救おうとした。だがライダーはそれを阻んだのだろう。ならば条件は明白だ。マスターとしての戦いを放棄すること。それが刻印中の制約だろう。
I guess that's why Ryder wasn't trying to kill Archer.
今までは的尾真司にライダーを預けることで戦いに賛同していたが、それを拒否した今、刻印中は的尾さくらを攻め続け、今は落ち着いているが、時間が経てば経つだけ刻印中はあの娘を責めるだろう。何をしている？マスターならば早く殺し合え、できぬのならばお前を食い殺すとな。
それがさくらに課せられた条件なのか？
そのようだな。他にそれらしい条件はない。
ならマスターでなくなればいいんじゃないのか。令状を使い切ってサーバントと契約を解除すればもうマスターじゃないんだから。
それは進められん。言っただろ。刻印中が発動する条件はマスターの責務を放棄することだと。
So if for whatever reason she stops being a master, the worms will kill her. Even if it includes losing all her command spells.
自らの手でライダーとの契約を立てば、刻印中は今度こそ的尾さくらを食い尽くすぞ。
そう、戦って生き残るか戦わずに刻印中に殺されるか、今のさくらにある選択肢はそれだけってことね。
I say.
そうなるな。聖杯戦争が続く限り刻印中は宿主を攻め続ける。この状態が続けば肉体はもちろんのこと的尾さくらの精神が持つまい。何しろ全身に魔術刻印があるのだ。それが正気の沙汰ではないとお前ならばわかる。
そうね、もう馴染んだはずなのに定期的に腕ごとどうにかしたくなるし、左腕だけの私がこれなんだから、全身に刻印なんかあったら人間としての機能が侵食される。そんなの魔術師じゃなくて魔術回路の塊よ。人間の精神なんて魔力の波で書き換えられる。
さくらは
今の状態が続けば危ういな。あと何日持つかはわからんが、日が経つにつれ刻印中の侵食は進む。それが全身に行き渡る前に排除できなければ死ぬだけだが、その前に体の方が持つまい。私が行ったことは戦場だけど、失われた魔力と精神を呼び戻す手術はこれからだが、それも成功する見込みは低い。話はそれだけだ。結論を言えば、このままでは的尾さくらは助からない。それで納得はいったか？ エミやシロ。
The hell I can. We can't save Sakura? That's crazy. She was doing just fine until yesterday, so why is this happening now?
排除。そうだ、刻印柱の摘出はできないのか。異物が混ざってるって分かってるなら取り除けるはずだろう。
摘出は難しいな。すでに刻印柱は魔術回路となり、魔頭さくらの一部となっている。刻印を植え付けた術者本人でさえああなっては解除。そうだな。それでも摘出したいというのなら、それはもう奇跡とやらに頼るしか。
So, the Grail. The Holy Grail. So it all comes back to that. Sakura has no choice but to fight as a master. And only the power of the Grail can save her.
大体事情は分かったわ、キレ。とりあえず礼を言っとく。
Tasaka gives the priest a perfunctory bow of gratitude.
けどいきなりすぎない？刻印柱を植え付けられたのは昨日今日じゃないはずよ。なのに突然
Yeah, well, after
今日に限
11
って限界が来たっていうの？
何を今さら。魔頭さくらの体に刻印柱が与えられたのは何年も前だ。
Ah.
目も髪も遠坂のものでなくなるほど初期に手を加えられたのだぞ。延長は昨日今日始まったものではない。まあそれも今回のように破滅を呼ぶものではなかったようだが、魔頭造剣は今回の戦いで魔頭さくらを使う気はなかったらしい。何にしろ戦闘用に調整されていない。魔頭さくらをあのように扱ったのは何か予期せぬ条件が揃ったからと見るべきだ。
予期せぬ条件ね。それがなんだかわからないけど、昨日今日で突然さくらは造剣のお眼鏡にかなったってこと？
だろうな。魔頭造剣ではなく魔頭さくら自身に造剣が予期しなかった変化が起こったと見るべきだ。だがそれは一要因に過ぎ、急激な変化の理由は他にもある。あの娘はサーバントを行使することで魔力を常に消費するようになった。そのため刻印柱にまで餌が回らなくなったとしたら、飢えた虫。
そうか。マスターとして戦えなんて条件がなくても、
Right.
足りない魔力の分さくらの体を削っていくんだ。けどならライダーさえ使わなければ魔力は失われないんだから少しは。
However, that would also cause the worms to attack her.
ああ、しばらくは今まで通りの生活ができるだろう。もっともあの老人がこのまま魔頭さくらを放置するとは思え
Yeah, he wouldn't.
でしょうね。そうでもなければさくらで刻印柱なんて植え付けないし、戦わなければ体を乗っ取られて、戦えば魔力を消費してやっぱりあの子の体は削られていく。いいえ、それだけじゃない。刻印柱を与えた塔の造剣はその気になればいつでもさくらを自由に使える。
さくらを自由に使える。
ええ、結局さくらの命は造剣に握られている。だからさくらを助けたいのなら造剣を倒すしかない。
I agree.
けどエミヤ君、造剣を倒すのなら先にさくらを倒すしかないわ。あの子は造剣の操り人形当然。造剣を追い詰めればあいつは必ずさくらを盾にする。
そういうことだ。造剣にとって魔頭さくらは都合のいい駒だからな。魔頭真珠をけしかけたように魔頭さくらを操るだろう。実際マスターとしての能力は彼女の方が上だ。あれは虫どもにせかされ魔頭真珠以上に造剣好みのマスターとして暴走しよう。だが私も老人の思惑通りに行くのは歯がゆい。魔頭さくらの手術は引き続き行う。今はかけられた薬物を洗浄して麻酔をかけた状態だ。本格的な体の回復と刻印柱の摘出はこれから行う。
キレ、あんた
絶望的だが努力はする。このまま的をさくらを死なせることはできない。神父が奇跡にのみ頼るというのもイメージが悪かろう。
Unexpected to hear this stuff from Kirei, but kind of thankful to hear it. I'm right there with Tosaka. I haven't known Kotomine as long, but I didn't expect this from him at all. It's not just a hunch. I can tell that Kotomine sincerely and seriously intends to save Sakura. It might be a matter of course for a priest, but I still feel like I'm witnessing something inconceivable.
どういう風の吹き回し？あんたが他人にそこまで肩入れするなんて初めて見たわ。
気まぐれではない。死なすには惜しいだけだ。もっともお前たちにとってはここで一人減った方がいいのだろうがな。
The priest answers dispassionately. Tosaka glares at him for a moment.
任せたわ。手術が済んだ頃に来るから。
She remarks and leaves the church. The church returns to silence now that Tosaka's gone. The priest silently watches her go while I stay seated, with nothing else to do.
何をしている？お前がここに残ったところで役には立たん。邪魔をされても困る。
邪魔なんてするか。こと手術に関してはあんたを信頼してる。以前も女の人を治療してくれただろう、あんたは。
あの時とは手術の規模が段違いなのだがな。的尾さくらは自らを撃つことで暴走を止めた。おそらくお前を傷つけたことで自家中毒を起こしたのだろう。簡単に言ってしまえば、あれは自らの心を殺すことで造剣に操られる自身を止めたのだ。これから行う手術は停止した心臓をもう一度動かすことに等しい。もっとも刻印中のおかげで肉体は未だ生きている。精神の呼び戻しだけならばとりあえずは成功するだろう。だがそこにお前がいては迷惑だ。的尾さくらの苦悶を聞きつけて押し入られては潜んでるし、第一そのような苦悩を背負う義務もあるまい。お前と的尾さくらは他人なのだから。
他人だって。
的尾さくらに同情するなと言っているのだ。お前にできることなどない。凛がそうしたようにお前も早々に立ち去るがいい。
なんでだよ。何もできないならせめてここでさくらの無事を祈っちゃいけないのか。
それは罪だ。お前に的尾さくらの痛みを共有する資格はない。わからないのか。私はお前がここにいては手術が失敗すると言っているのだ。今の的尾さくらにとってエミやシローは外敵でしかない。
I can't even ask why. The priest's heavy words point out a sin that I didn't even realize.
的尾さくらはお前に対して罪の意識を持っている。お前がそばにいては目覚めを拒否しかねない。
Kind of like Saber was saying before. She never forgives herself.
俺に対して罪の意識を。
そうだ。罪の意識というよりは懺悔だが、あれは的尾の後継者として実験台にされ続けてきた。的尾造剣がどのような教育を施したかは想像に難くない。的尾さくらはお前が望むような清らかな乙女ではなく、虫に汚された尼ということだ。
That doesn't surprise me. I know the feeling now. The moment I found out that Sakura is a master. When the command spell appeared on her hand, I silently accepted reality.
あの娘はお前にそれを知られまいとしながら常に救いを求めていたはずだ。魔術継承の名を借りた攻めくがどれほど続いたのかは知らん。だが身近にいながらそれに気がつかなかった者に何ができる。ここで祈る資格がないとはそういうことだ。 それでも的をさくらを思うのなら席を外せ。今のお前にできることはそれだけだ。
I stand up. It's not because I lost an argument with this guy. I'm just acknowledging that what he says is true. If I really care about Sakura, then I shouldn't be here. This thoughtless brain of mine shouldn't try to care for Sakura. I turn my back on the priest and start walking out of the church.
まあ、それと言うまでもないと思うのだが。
I don't bother turning around. I stop in front of the exit.
先ほどの話だ。的を真司がライダーを行使していた時、犠牲になった女がいたな。お前の起点で助かったが、本来ならばあのまま死んでいた女だ。
My temper rises. Why do I immediately realize the reason he's telling me this?
そうだ。あのトガがどこにあるのか、もはや言うまでもない。サーバントが人を襲った場合、その責任はマスターにある。
さくらが悪いっていうのか、お前は。
まさか。私が言っているのは責任の所在だ。善悪を語っているのではない。事実女はお前のおかげで助かっている。
But if I had made the wrong choice back there, Ryder would have killed the woman. And that would be...
そう。今後の話だ、エミヤシロ。このまま的さくらが回復したところで結果は同じだぞ。正気を取り戻したとしてもいずれ同じことが起きる。その時お前はどちらを守るのだ。
I don't know when Sakura will do that again. I don't have an answer for him. I walk quickly to the exit like I'm running away from his words.
エミヤシロ、お前がマスターになった理由を覚えているか。
I gnash my teeth as I walk. His words are an ultimatum.
お前は正義の味方になると言った。ならば決断を下しておけ。自身の理想、その信念を守るため、エミやキリツグのように自分を殺すかどうかをな。
I shut the door. The door to God's house is as heavy as the cross he bore. It smells like rain. The courtyard is empty, devoid of churchgoers. Instead, I come across a man waiting for me without his mistress. Strangely, I don't even wonder what he's doing here, or why he was waiting for me. The Red Knight watches me quietly for a moment, then closes his eyes, as if coming to a decision.
分かっているな、エミヤシロ。お前が戦う者、お前が殺すべき者が誰であるかということを。
He gives a clearer answer than I ever could. The words are enough to freeze my heart cold. I know. I said that I'd fight to put a stop to the war and keep innocent people from being caught up in the Master's conflict. I asked Saber for help to carry out that decision. I won't hide from that. And now, Sakura is the Master I need to stop before anyone else. I acknowledge it, but I can't say it out loud. The Red Knight says nothing. We both stand there under the overcast sky, watching one another.
では好きにしろ。私の目的は変わった。あれが出てきた以上、もはや支援で動く時ではない。これは忠告だ。お前が今までの信念を守るのならそれでいい。だがもし違う道を選ぶというのなら、エミやシローに未来などない。
それは俺が死ぬってことかよ。
自らを閉ざすことを死というのならばな。そうだろう。お前は今まで人々を生かすためにあり続けてきた。その誓いを曲げ、一人を生かすために人々を切り捨てるなどどうしてできる。
His assertion doesn't carry a note of irony. I sense some kind of determination and emptiness in Archer's words.
エミやシローがどの道を選ぶかなど知らん。だがお前が今までの自分を否定したった一人を生かそうというのなら、そのツケは必ず
His
お
footsteps
前
fade into
自
the
身を裁く
distance.
だろう。
I start down the hill, plagued by doubts. Before I know it, I'm sitting on a park bench. I don't feel like going home, but I can't wait at the church either. This park is far from both my house and the church. It's been a few hours since I learned that Sakura is a master. It's the perfect waiting spot to symbolize how I'm sitting on the fence, unable to make up my mind about anything. An answer. I need to come up with an answer, but my thoughts are scattered, and I can't figure out what I'm supposed to think about.
あれは魔党の後継者として実験台にされ続けてきた。魔党造剣がどのような教育を施したかは想像に難くない。魔党さくらはお前が望むような清らかな乙女ではなく、虫に汚されたアマということだ。
I don't need him to repeat that to me. Even an upstart mage like me knows that. What it means and everything she's had to go through. Why didn't...
あの娘はお前に知られまいとしながら常に救いを求めていたはずだ。それに気づかなかった男に彼女を思う資格はない。
うるさい、うるさい、うるさい。分かってる。お前に言われるまでもなく、そんなこと。
Why? Why didn't... I noticed it all. My molars are broken. I've been clenching my jaw so much today, it would be a wonder if my teeth didn't break.
くそくそくそくそ。
I crush exposed nerves. The pain stabs into my head. I can't even tear apart the hatred in my mind. A fire blazes in my brain. When I think back on all our time together, now I know that I know the truth. It drives me crazy. Sakura was laughing. She was always smiling peacefully, and I just basked in it, oblivious to all of her suffering. Doesn't matter now whether her smile is genuine or forced. Now when I realize how much pain she was hiding behind her smile, it makes me want to kill someone.
魔党造剣。
I can't forgive him. I don't need him to atone. I just want to erase him right now from Sakura's life. It's all his fault. If not for Zoken, Sakura would have grown up like any other girl. She never would have had those bizarre quest worms implanted in her. If not for Zoken, she never would have become a master. Shinji would never have fallen so far, and they would have lived normal lives. That's why, if I can just get rid of him, then all this will... I punch the bench, tearing open the wound on my left hand and splattering the white bench with red blood. The colorful contrast brings me to my senses.
未熟者。あいつさえいなければ、何かどうだったって言うんだ。
I run out of pity for my own stupidity.
それこそ関係ない話だ。他人に責任を押し付けて何を。
But does it make me feel any better? I won't deny what Zoken's done to Sakura, what he's here to do now. Thinking about it disgusts me, and like a snake's tongue flicking out, makes me feel envy at having something precious stolen from me. It doesn't make my failures any better either. I'm the one who didn't notice it. No matter what Zoken might have done, I was the only person who failed to notice any of it.
違う。気づかなかったんじゃない。俺は。
Didn't even try to notice. The night I faced off against Zoken, He said that Sakura wasn't involved, and I believed him. Why did I believe what he said? As long as Sakura's one of the Matos, there's no way she isn't related. The night I lost Saber, I experienced firsthand how that fiend Zoken views human life. He gave Rider to Shinji, so he'd just be as willing to do something to Sakura. And yet, I ate up every lie he fed me, just because it would have been convenient if they were true. I actually did notice back then. I would have arrived at the truth if I just thought about it a little. That's why I wasn't surprised. When I learned Sakura was a master and that she'd endured an upbringing that she could never talk about, it all felt obvious to me. I tried not to think about it because I couldn't bear to come to terms with it. If I noticed it, then I'd have to fight. If Zoken Mato is evil to other humans, then the right thing to do would be to fight the evildoer. No. The right path is already laid out for me. If Sakura becomes Zoken's puppet and makes Rider indiscriminately attack people again, then there's only one thing for me to do. That's why I've trained myself in magecraft and lived the way I do. To save people from disasters beyond their control. So I already know what to do. The Red Knight was right.
先輩、もし私が悪い人になったら
I don't want to hurt Sakura, and I sympathize with her. But she isn't an exception. No matter how precious she is to me, if it means allowing another tragedy to happen,
はい、先輩にならいいです。
then I have to eliminate her. It's nothing to hesitate about. So why? Why am I trying so hard to keep down the vomit rising to my throat? I endure the nausea. I wonder how long I've been sitting here. I don't have time to fixate on trivial thoughts. Tosaka said she'd be back once the surgery is finished. The town smells like rain. I'll go back to the church and check on Sakura one more time before it starts to pour. Then,
シロ、遊ぼう。
something crashes into me. I'm suddenly hugged from behind.
イリア。
Even without turning around, I know who it is. This pale girl is the person I always meet in this park.
びっくりした。街を歩いてたらシロがいたからつい声かけちゃった。
Ilya laughs cheerfully. Her innocence hurts. I know it's selfish, but right now I don't want to see anyone laughing.
あ、何よシロを無視しちゃって。話しかけてるのにうつむいたままなんて女の子に失礼だよ。
I wish she'd be quiet. To be honest, I don't have time for this right now.
もうシロってば、人の話はちゃんと聞かなくちゃダメなんだからね。
イリア、悪いけど今そんな余裕ないんだ。遊ぶのなら一人で遊んでくれ。
へえ、せっかく会えたのにそれじゃつまんない。あれからシロをここに来てくれなかったし、今日を逃したらまた来ないに決まってるもん。
別に毎日って約束したわけじゃない。それにもう夜だぞ。マスターは夜に会ったら殺し合うんじゃないのか。
As soon as I say those unkind words, my nausea returns. I despise myself so much I want to hit myself. Ilya's just trying to make me feel better, but I'm pushing her away.
なんで？シロはもうマスターじゃないでしょ。だから今夜は見逃してあげるけど。
マスターじゃないってイリア。
ふふんだ。私に知らないことなんてないんだから。シロはセイバーを失って リンはライダーにやられかけたのよね。けどライダーのマスターが倒れたから残りはあと2人だけでしょ。
Okay, her information is not completely right, but how does she know that? Ilya recounts it all cheerfully. It almost sounds like she's laughing at Sakura's fate.
もう勝敗は見えたも同然だもの。ライダーのマスターは自滅するだろうし、アーチャーだって大したことないわ。セイバーがいなくなった以上、私のバーサーカーに勝てるやつなんていなくなったのね。だから遊ぼう。シローはもうマスターじゃないから、特別に私の城に招待してあげる。
Ilya rudely tries to hug me. Her carefree smile irritates me.
うるさい。そんな暇はないって言っただろ。遊びたきゃ一人で遊べ。
I shove Ilya away in anger. It's too late to regret it. Ilya stands there in surprise. I don't have to look at her to tell how shocked she is. I threw aside her sincere goodwill. All the kindness she's shown me just went down the drain. I bow, unable to bear the silence.
ごめんね、シロー。
A small hand strokes my hair.
イリア、お前怒らないのか？
怒らないよ。だってシロー泣きそうだよ。何があったかは知らないけど、私まで嫌っちゃったらかわいそうだもん。だから私、シローが何したってシローの味方をしてあげるの。
I'm gonna say I've come close to choking up a little bit at some points during this, but I think this is the first time that I've actually cried a little bit. Oh man. Oh, Ilya. Pure white fills my vision. That one sentence. Those simple words wash all the turmoil from my mind.
俺の味方。
そうよ。好きな子のことを守るのは当たり前でしょ。そんなの私だって知ってるんだから。
She'll be on my side. Just like that, Ilya says her reason for being someone's ally. I know whether it's right or wrong. What I've protected so far and what I want to protect. I can tell which of those is right and which one is wrong. With that in mind, I want to be on Sakura's side. I'm sure I'll regret it if I keep lying to myself, even if I keep going. Where responsibility lies, good and evil. The thought of losing Sakura weighs heavier on me than any of those concerns. It's not even about making up my mind. I just want to protect Sakura.
ああ、好きな女の子を守るのは当たり前だ。そんなの俺だって知っていた。
でしょ。シローがそういう子だから私もシローの味方なの。
Ilya laughs happily. Her innocence gives me courage. I don't know if this choice is wrong or not, but I'm sure I won't regret it.
ごめん、イリア。俺、そろそろ行かないと。
そうだね。そういう顔してるから許してあげる。また今度会おうね、シロー。
ああ、またな、イリア。それと、ありがとう。
I leave the park. Shaking off my doubts, I run to the church. I've decided on my answer. I don't know how much Sakura has supported me since my old man died. I've always thought of her as my kohai, and try not to see her as a member of the opposite sex. I kept lying to myself because I wanted her to stay by my side. But this isn't a situation I can lie my way through anymore. Shirou Emiya doesn't want to lose Sakura. Ooh, almost fell apart on that one. Ooh. Oh, that's the line I almost lost myself on. Holy shit. Shirou Emiya doesn't want to lose Sakura Mato. That's all. If I can't think of anything, then I can just trust in my one sure feeling. Even so, in the depths of my mind,
お前がたった一人を生かそうというのなら
I can't shake off Archer's prophetic words no matter how hard I try. It begins to rain. The winter rain mercilessly pelts me as I run. Oh, interlude. Oh, I'm going to imagine this is going to be a break from sad things, is it? Oh no, this is gonna make me mad. Okay. Something was making a dragging sound. She knew the sound well. It was the scraping of countless insects dragging bodies, the chitter of multitudes swarming over the walls. She knows this place well. This dark, damp, hidden room. This underground mausoleum. This green darkness was the first room the Matos put her in when they adopted her. A lone figure stands in the darkness. She isn't sure whether to call him human, but he resembles a human. The figure called for her and ordered her to fight instead of Shinji Mato. Oh, this is back when we saw Zoken talking to someone in the basement, yeah. She was prepared for this. At the very least, she accepted that it would come to this 2 days ago. But now her determination was waning. She'd been losing her will to fight ever since she learned that Shirou Emiya was a master. She was sent to the Emiya household to monitor him. But Shirou Emiya didn't have the aptitude to be a master, and he knew nothing of the Holy Grail War. She figured that out right away, so her assignment never really mattered to begin with. Using surveillance as an excuse, she kept living as Shirou Emiya's kohai. She told herself that they wouldn't have to fight. She was optimistic that even if her identity came out someday, they would never end up fighting each other. So, how did it come to this?
おじい様、マスターは全員殺さなければいけないのですか?
She knew how the old man would answer, but she still had to ask. And yet...
そうさな。お主がどうしてもというのなら、一人や二人は慰み者にしてもよいぞ。サーバントさえ奪えればよいのだ。残ったマスターは、おもちゃにするなり人形にするなり好きにするがよい。
His answer was slightly different than she anticipated.
わからぬか。マスターをすべて殺す必要はないと言ったのだ。生かしておいて危険な輩は処分する。が、残したところで支障のない輩ならば見逃してやってもよい。可愛い孫の頼みじゃからな。我らが悲願といえど、多少の融通は聞かせよ。
Just slightly, his words eased her caution. Sometimes the old man could be kind. When teaching her the Mato ways, he was utterly inhuman, displaying the savagery of a beast or worm. In conversation, however, he could give off the air of a pleasant older gentleman. But she knew not to be fooled. This could be a momentary whim or some calculated manipulation. More importantly, if she agreed now, then she was bound to end up fighting him. Even if she didn't have to kill him, she still didn't want to fight him.
なんじゃ、それでも不満か。まったく困った娘よな。そのように臆病だから手に入るものも手に入らんのだ。よいか。今回の件は良い機会だぞ。欲しいな、桜よ。お主いつまで監視役などにとどまっておるのだ。欲しいものがあるのなら奪えばよい。お前にはその力も権利もあろう。
She didn't answer. There wasn't anything she wanted to begin with. She simply had a longing, not even a hope that he might accept her. She's dirty and impure, not worthy of him. So she would work to become someone good enough to sit by his side. She would be happy just to stay by him until that time comes. It would be disastrous to hope for more. Not just for herself. It would surely cause him to meet an unwelcome end as well.
おじい様、 私は戦いません。ライダーはこのまま兄さんに譲ります。
she said in a trembling voice, knowing she might draw her grandfather's ire. She knew well what it meant to defy him. Her limbs quiver. She was so terrified she might cry. However, it wasn't her grandfather's wrath she was afraid of. No, what she fears the most is, when she can no longer bear the pain, she might end up obeying the old man's will in the end.
では仕方あるまい。無理強いをし大事な後継者を失うわけにはいかんからな。今回も傍観に徹するとしようかの。
She gasps. She doesn't know how serious he is, but her grandfather has accepted her request. Her trembling stops and a warm relief floods her chest. And then when her guard was down,
しかしそうなると少しばかり尺だの。今回のよりしろの中ではキャスの娘はなかなかに上級じゃ。気が味方すればもしやということもあり得るか。
the old man remarks in a disappointed tone.
姉さん
The other shoe drops. Her intuition tells her that her sister can definitely win this war. That's just the kind of person she is, dashing gallantly through life, getting everything she wants like it's the most natural thing in the world. She won't even spare a single glance for Sakura, and carries off everything she wants with her. Then, she is sure to win. An icy feeling spreads through her body. She doesn't care. She's used to it. She's used to it. She's used to it. She got used to it a long time ago. Ne-san will get everything. All the pain I've put up with, the bright future I've always hated, and worst of all, the one person close to me are all going to disappear. The space around her feet warps. The words make her dizzy and she vomits. Her chest hurts. Then in her chest, she's assailed by a nasty, stabbing sensation. It's begun to rain. Cold winter rain hammers the rain gutter. She slowly opens her eyes. Apparently, she was dreaming about the events of the last few days. She was sleeping on this operating table in this room made of stone. In front of her is a priest she's never seen before, who somehow reminds her of herself.
気がついたか。状況の説明はいるかね、的尾さくら。
いいえ、自分の体です。ちゃんと分かっています。
Her answer is plain. Without looking at the priest, she stares at the wall, listening to the rhythm of the rain.
結構。では早く着替えたまえ。隣では遠坂凛と恵宮四郎が待っている。彼らには君の状態を説明しなければならない。その後、その格好では逃げることもできないだろう。
私を
逃げる逃げないは君の自由だ。私は助けただけだからな。君がどうするかは私が決められることではない。まあ、助けた手前死なれては骨折り損ではある。君には最後まで残っていてほしいとは思うが。
それはどうしてですか？
その方が楽しい。君が生きることになれば、遠坂凛も恵宮四郎も苦しむだろう。
That's why I wanted to
苦
pull
悩す
through
る
it.
ものが増えるのは。
Yeah, that tracks.
私にとっては
That
喜
fucking
ばしい。
tracks. Yeah, thanks, Kotominai. The priest turns his back on her. He will head to the chapel next, not sparing a second glance for the girl hugging herself on the operating table.
さて、彼らが的尾さくらを生かすか殺すか、その選択に興味があるのならここで待っているがいい。うちはこう見えて安物心でな。なぜかここだけは礼拝堂での会話が筒抜けになる作りになっている。
Suppressing a melancholy chuckle, the priest goes off to the central garden.
先輩、私どうしたら。
She hugs her knees. The sound of the rain drowns out her quiet weeping. I open the door. Tosaka's standing in a corner of the chapel. Looks like she's been here for a while. From the way she stands, I can feel a certain determination. It's the face of a ruthless mage who has decided to treat Sakura as an enemy if the crestworms can't be removed. Tosaka doesn't look at me, and I have nothing to say to her. For a long time, the chapel is filled only with the drumming of the rain. I'm not sure how long it goes on for.
手術は終わった。これ以上私にできることはない。
Kirei Kotomine appears, breaking the silence.
ちょっとキレイ。あんた魔術刻印どうしたの？
What the? Oh, he gave up his own magic crest to feed them?
やはりわかるか。見ての通り、
Oh.
麻藤さくらの治療にすべて使った。
使ったってあんた。
Tosaka gasps. I'm not sure what they're talking about. All I can tell is that something happened to Kotomine's magic crest and that Tosaka is really surprised.
わかってるの？魔術刻印よ、魔術刻印。代々重ねてきたものがなんでたった数時間でなくなるっていうのよ。
仕方あるまい。私が父から受け継いだ刻印はお前のように高級的なものではない。使えば使うだけ失われる消費型だ。格の落ちる霊樹と思えばいいだろう。
じゃあ本当に？
ああ、刻印は全て治療に使った。何しろ11年にわたる生みの摘出だからな。残った刻印を根こそぎ持っていかれたのもそう意外ではないだろう。
Tosaka and I are speechless. The priest used his entire magic crest to heal Sakura. From the look on Tosaka's face, I have an inkling of how heavy a price he paid. He basically spent his entire life savings to save a girl we carried through the front door.
琴峰、お前。
なんだ。まさか迷惑だったなどと言うまいな。助けろと言ったのはお前たちだ。私はそれに応えただけだが。
いや、迷惑なんてことはない。ありがと
う。礼は言うな。どの道、後になって撤回するのだ。
Oh, so here comes the punch.
後になって撤回する？
Is he saying...
で、さくらはあんたがそこまでしたってことは。
一命は取り留めたがその場しのぎに過ぎん。大部分の刻印虫は取り除けたが深く蝕んでいるものの摘出は不可能だ。あそこまで神経に食い込んでしまっては取り除きようがない。心臓を引き抜けば全ての刻印虫を摘出できるがそれでは麻藤さくら本人も死んでしまう。私にできたことは神経と同化していない刻印虫を取り除き痛みを和らげ臓剣からの圧力を弱めてやることだけだった。今夜死ぬべき定めのものを気まぐれで延命させたに過ぎ、それも神経に根付いた虫が動き出せば無駄骨になるがな。
それじゃあさくらは
何も変わっていないということだ。実生活には何の支障もないが麻藤臓剣の出方次第でたやすく暴走する。あの老人の思惑一つで本人の意志に反して戦いを強制させられるだろう。要は導火線に火がついたままの爆弾ということだな。
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have doubts. But I'm not surprised, and my mind is certain. I was ready for this. No matter what shape Sakura is in, no matter what happens to her, I've decided to be on her side.
そう。それじゃああとは一つだけね。刻印を使い切ってくれた綺麗には悪いけど。
Tosaka begins walking away from the wall. I realize what she's about to do.
待て、父さんが。
and grab her by the hand, stopping her.
何？話なら後にして。
何言ってやがる。お前さくらを殺すつもりか。
つもりも何もそれしかないでしょ。あなただってそれを覚悟してここに来たんじゃないの？エミヤ君。
そんな覚悟はしていない。俺はさくらのために戻ってきた。お前がさくらを手にかけるって言うんならここで止める。
じゃああんたはどうするつもり？いい？さくらはマスターとして戦わないと生きていけない。マスターである限りよそから魔力を取らないとやっていけない体じゃない。そんなのどんなに手を尽くしても結果は見えてるって思わない？ならここで殺してあげた方がさくらのためよ。
思うかバカ。まだしてもいないことに何勝手に結論出してんだよお前は。
出すわよ。さくらの問題がさくらだけならまだ希望だってあるわ。けどそうじゃないでしょ。さくらの命を握ってるのはあくまであのクソジジイで、造剣がいる限りさくらは操り人形よ。あのジジイがさくらを手放すなんてあると思うの？
それ
ほら分かってるじゃない。造剣は決してさくらを楽にはしない。ならこのまま苦しんでそれでも結局逃げられないって言うならここで終わらせた方が犠牲が出ない。さくらもさくらの手にかかる人たちも救われるわ。私はあなたみたいに一縷の希望にすがって被害を広げることはできない。そんな決断を先延ばしにする弱さが逆にあの子を苦しめるのよ。
Tosaka's correct. She isn't saying that death would save Sakura, but she's making the right choice from the perspective of saving lives. Any other idea would just be a selfish compromise doomed to failure. If we do nothing, 10 people will die. But if 9 lives can be saved at the cost of 1, that would be... the reality, past, that I've always accepted, but I always wanted to deny deep down.
違う。お前は間違ってる。
エミヤ君。
俺は犠牲なんて出させない。お前の方こそやりもしないうちに結論を出す遠坂こそ弱いんじゃないのか。
ふざけないで。それがどんなことか分かってるかって言ってるの。さくらを助ける？それってどういうことよ。あの子を助けてあの子に殺される連中も助けるってこと？笑わせないでよね。そんなのあなた一人にできるわけないじゃない。
ああ、できない。けどさくらを守る。その結果がどうなるかはこれから考える。
そうならあなたは私の敵よ。手を離して。さもないと根元から吹っ飛ばされて外まで転がり出ることになるわよ。
やってみろ。けどな遠坂、そう何でもかんでも思い通りになると思うなよ。
I put more strength into my grip, because I'm nervous. Tosaka is... No, I want to believe she's nervous too. Despite our tit for tat, we're at a stalemate because we each have things we can't compromise on.
なんだ。
何？
It came from outside the chapel. A noise from the room next door makes us both look at each other.
エミヤ君、今の聞いた？
窓の割れる音だ。それにその後のは
走っていく足音だったな。確かに出口はこの礼拝堂と裏口だけだが、窓を割って外に出るとは何事か。いやそうか、この教会の窓ははめ殺しが多い。仕方なく窓ガラスを割ったのだろうが、病み上がりにしては少々乱暴だな。
病み上がりってまさかさくら？
それ以外誰がいる？彼女を寝かせていた部屋はなぜかここでの会話が筒抜けでな。お前が彼女を殺すだの物騒なことを言うから逃げ出したのだろう。許せ。構造的欠陥というやつだ。
嘘つけこのインチキ神父。それ絶対わざとでしょ。
Tosaka shakes off my hand and starts running. She's headed for the front door, not the back of the church.
遠坂。
話は後。今はさくらを捕まえる方が先。あの子ってばあんな体でどこに行こうってんだか。
Tosaka rushes to the door, throws it open, and runs outside. She sprints out into the rain without an umbrella. I can't afford to linger here either. I don't know where Sakura's gone, but I can't let her be alone right now.
待て。マトさくらを探しに行くのはいいが、その前に伝え
What
忘れた
now?
こと
What
が。
now, Kotomi?
なんだよ、長話はごめんだぞ。今はそんな場合じゃない。
まあそう言うな。大事な話だ。伝えておかなければ私も困る。凛は聞かずに言ってしまったからな。お前に話しておかなければならないだろう。
それはさくらのことか。
そうだ。結論から言えばマトさくらは長くない。
ああ。
刻印中はこうしている今もあの娘の体を犯している。引き抜くことは簡単だが、その衝撃にあの娘の体が耐えられない。神経の4割を生きたまま引き抜くのだ。痛みでショック死する以前に人間として死亡する。だが放っておいても同じことだ。あれの理性は欠乏する魔力に削られていき、次期魔頭さくらという自我をなくす。そうなってしまえばあれはただの暴走したマスターだ。サーバントの維持のため何人もの人間を犠牲とし、それでも最後には耐えきれずに自滅する。つまりお前がどのような手を尽くしたところであの女は助けられる。
For a second, I feel dizzy, like a strobe lamp just went off in front of me.
壊れたものは治らず、失ったものは決して戻ってこない。あの娘を助けたかったのなら、それは11年前に行うべきことだった。それでも手を差し伸べるというのか、エミやシロ。何をしようと数日後には死ぬ女だ。そのようなものを助けることに何の意味がある。
I can't breathe. The priest's words are so painful, it takes all my effort not to go weak in the knees.
そんなもの俺にはわからない。けどお前はさくらを助けてくれた。意味なんてそれで十分じゃないのか。
さて、私が治療したのは責務からだ。助けを求めて訪れた者を無下にすることはできないからな。
嘘つけ。責務だけで魔術刻印を使い切るもんか。理由はわからないが、お前はさくらを助けたかった。
Shirou, you gotta realize he only did that just to fuck with you guys.
死なせたくなかったんだ。そんなの俺だって同じだ。
I glare at Kotomine. He slightly inclines his head as if accepting my words.
そうだな。ならば急げ。凛が先に見つければ間違いなくマトさくらを手にかける。
And now he just wants conflict
そ
with
の前に
Shirou, of course.
あの迷い子に屋根を与えてやるがいい。
I don't need him to tell me that. I turn my back on the priest and run out into the rain, the same way Tosaka did. My breath mists white in the air. The cold winter rain freezes the heat that escapes my lungs, and I can even feel it beating on my cheeks.
さくら。
There's nobody on the street. I run aimlessly through the night, barely lit by the street lamps. I need to stop her. It isn't just because I feel like she'll do something she can't take back unless I find her soon. Right now, I just want to take her hand and feel her warmth. I run back and forth through the cloudy night. I have no idea where she was headed. Right now, Sakura has nowhere to go home to. All she can do is wander through the night now that she's lost both my house and the Mato home.
そう遠くには行ってないはずだ。雨のしのげる場所で人気のないところといったら。
It's a wild guess, but right now it's all I have to go on. I cross the bridge. Sakura isn't at the Shinto train station, and nobody there has seen anyone who might be her. Even at this time of night, Shinto isn't completely free of foot traffic. There are still a few people walking around. But if nobody's seen Sakura, then she might have avoided Shinto and returned to Miyama. She would stand out in the rain dressed in her school uniform. If she wanted to avoid being seen, then she would have gone back to Miyama. I think that as I run through the rain.
Sakura.
I stop. Under the bridge. On a dim, lonely brick path, I see her standing all alone. I go down through the park. Has she noticed me? Sakura just stands there getting soaked in the rain, not looking up. I can't think of anything to say to her. All I can do is take her home with me.
Sakura.
I call out to her as I approach.
ダメ。来ないでください。
When I do, Sakura refuses, sounding more desperate than I've ever heard her. I stop. Sakura clutches her skirt tightly, not looking up at me. She's in anguish, like a sinner ashamed of herself. I can't get any closer. I get the sense that I shouldn't approach her until she looks at me of her own volition.
Sakura.
帰ってください。日が近づかれると私何をするかわからない。
Her voice quivers. Sakura is shivering, both from the cold rain and her own sense of guilt. I can't free her of that. All I can do is...
帰ろう、Sakura。お前、風邪治りきってないだろ。
offer her a helping hand.
先輩。
Her rain-soaked hair sways. For a moment, she bites her lip.
帰れません。今さらどこに帰れって言うんですか。
She says in a biting tone tinged with self-hatred.
Sakura。
いいんです、先輩。私なんかに無理に構う必要はありません。だってもう知っているんでしょ。私が何なのか、私の体がどうなっているのか全部聞いたんでしょ。
And it all, she doesn't manage to say aloud.
もうこれで
But the white mist of her breath declares for me to say.
バカ言うな。俺が聞いたことなんてどうでもいいことだ。俺が知ってるさくらは今まで一緒にいたさくらだけだ。それがどうしてこんなことで終わったりするんだよ。
だって終わっちゃいます。先輩、私先輩が思ってるような女の子じゃないんですよ。もらわれた先で小さい頃からよくわからないものに触られてきました。
Sakura's nails dig into her skin. It's like she's trying to punish herself for being impure.
それだけじゃないです。私は武道の魔術師で先輩にそのことをずっと隠してました。マスターになった時も黙っていて、先輩がセイバーさんを連れてきた時も知らん顔して騙してたんです。ほら、だってその方が都合が良くて先輩に怒られないじゃないですか。
さくら。
でも本当バカですよね。そんなのでごまかせるはずないのに、それでも騙し通せるって思ってたんですよ。自分の体におじい様の虫が住んでいても大丈夫だ、自分を確かに持っていれば負けないって思い込んであっさり負けちゃいました。あの時かけられたの毒でも何でもない暗示のようなものだったんですよ。私は そんなのをかけられただけで自分がわからなくなって先輩を傷つけたんです。遠坂先輩は正しい。私は臆病で泣き虫で卑怯者です。こうなるって分かってたのに、おじい様に逆らうことも自分で終わらせることもできなかった。痛いのが嫌で怖いのも嫌で、みんなより自分が大切すぎて死ぬ勇気も持てなかった。
She's crying. Sakura is just sobbing. She's weeping and she doesn't know what to do, which makes her even sadder. When I realize that, I feel regret. I've never seen Sakura cry before. How come I didn't realize it sooner? What must it mean for someone to only be able to cry when she criticizes herself?
泣くなさくら。
だから全部私が悪いんです。私はおじい様の操り人形で、いつさっきみたいに取り乱すかわからなくて、いつかきっと取り返しのつかないことをします。そんな私がどこに帰れるって言うんです、先輩。
Sakura scolds herself. Nobody else blames her, so she has to do it herself. I'm a bad person, so I need to be blamed and punished.
だから泣くな。
Sakura told me once that she's a coward, so she needs someone to pull her along by the hand. I finally know what she meant. Who I want to protect. Who's precious to me. Who I can't bear the thought of losing. If it means she won't cry anymore, then I'll take her by the hand and bring her somewhere the sun shines. Right now, if I have to.
ごめんなさい、先輩。私ずっと先輩を騙してたんです。けどいつも思ってました。私は先輩のそばにいていい人間じゃない。だからこんなのは強化着にして明日からは知らない人のふりをしようって。廊下で出会ってもすれ違うだけで放課後も他人みたいに白いふりして、夜もちゃんと一人で家に帰って今までのことは忘れようって。
Yeah. If she did that to me, I don't think I could take it. I'm sorry I didn't realize it sooner.
でもできなかった。そう思っただけで体が震えて、すごく怖かった。怖くて死のうって決めた時より怖くて、先輩の家に行くのをやめられなかった。先輩を騙すのもそれをやめてしまうのも怖くて、周りはみんな怖いことだらけで一歩も動けなくなって、どうしていいかわからなかった。
I'm sure I would have been fine with that. Sakura thinks it would have been better if I didn't know. So I kept her crying all this time.
バカですよね。こんなこといつか絶対分かっちゃうのに、分かっちゃった時はもう遅くて、私は二度とあの家には入れない。だからそうなる前に私から離れた方がいいって毎晩思ってた。その方が先輩のためで、私もきっとこれ以上悲しくなくなるって、これ以上泣かなくていいって分かっていた。
That's why I don't want to let her cry anymore. If nobody blames Sakura, so she has to do it herself.
でも していたかった。先輩との時間をこれからも守っていたかった。私にとってはそれだけが意味のあることだったのに、どうして。
Then I'll keep forgiving Sakura, even if no one else does. I embrace her chilled body. The arms I used to hug her aren't reliable at all. I can't put much strength into them, so I can't even draw her in close. I can't save Sakura. All I can do is be by her side now, and ask her to be by mine.
先輩、私
もう泣くな。さくらが悪いやつだってことはよく分かったから。
I hear her gasp. Her confusion mixed with guilt and regret. To deny that feeling, I say as firmly as I can.
だから俺が守る。どんなことになっても、さくら自身がさくらを殺そうとしても、俺がさくらを守るよ。約束する。俺はさくらだけの正義の味方になる。
I put just a little force into the hug, to announce that even if this is just a touch, this oath is stronger than anything else. Is it working? It's enough to make Sakura's cold, stiff shoulders relax. No matter what Sakura says, she's still the same Sakura I know. Her touch through the hug and the warmth of her skin are the same. We both exhale white clouds into the air, and the pouring rain weakens to a drizzle. And then in the freezing night,
ダメです、先輩。それじゃきっと先輩を傷つける。
Sakura speaks like it's confession. The rain is stopping. The night is as cold as the dead of winter, and I don't stop hugging her. And then,
先輩を傷つけるのに。
but I want to stay here. Sakura makes a choice, her cheeks wet. That's one decision down. I think we just finished something critical. I don't know if this is romance or love. I just know that it isn't going to be rewarded. It's a certain premonition that's trapped in my chest. By the time we're home, the rain is completely stopped. I've been holding hands with Sakura since we left the park. She calmed down while we were walking, and we began to get embarrassed as we went up the hill path, but we didn't stop holding hands until we got home.
あれ、玄関の明かりがついてる。さくら、一度家に戻ってきたのか？
私じゃないと思います。藤村先生じゃないでしょうか。
Worst case scenario, that's Rin.
はあ。
That could be it. I head for the door, taking Sakura with me. Her hand was freezing cold, but now it's incredibly warm. I feel reassured by the life I feel flowing through her veins, and go inside like I would if I just got home from school. Yup.
おかえりなさい。失礼だとは思ったけど、勝手にお邪魔させてもらったわ。
遠坂。
遠坂先輩。ええ、最後にはここに戻ってくると踏んではいたけど、まさか二人で戻ってくるとはね。まあ、エミヤ君ならありえるかなとも思ってはいたけど。
I gasp and I push Sakura behind me, facing Tosaka squarely.
遠坂、お前まだ。
当たり前でしょ。遠坂の魔術師として、的をさくらは放っておけない。 冬木の管理者として処罰しなければ私が教会に目をつけられる。そうなってからじゃ遅いわ。
そんな事情なんて知るか。さくらはまだ何もしてない。それでもさくらに手を挙げるって言うんなら、まず俺を黙らせろよ。
そうね、あなたは教会に属さないフリーの魔術師だし、ここで取り締まっておくのもいい。私はさくらを殺すわ。それを邪魔するのならあんたも殺す。
My nerves stand on edge. Tosaka's fingertips. If they so much as twitch, that'll be the opening shot. I have to get Sakura outside before Tosaka finishes an incantation. After that, I'll just have to figure it out as we go. Right now, I concentrate on how we're going to get out of here. There's a huge disparity in our magical skills. Archer's probably around too, and I have no idea how to deal with him. Tosaka's lips move slightly. Just as I realize that she's about to talk instead of cast a spell.
やめてくださいね。
Sakura puts herself between us.
さくら、先輩の言う通りです。私はまだ先輩しか傷つけていません。その先輩が許してくれるなら、私はまだ罰を受ける言われはないはずです。あなたね、ちゃんと自分の体を把握しているの？そんな体でよくもそんな。言えます。私はまだ大丈夫です。それより遠坂先輩こそ本気ですか？先輩はもうマスターじゃない。セーバーさんもいなくなって元の先輩に戻ったのに、マスターである遠坂先輩が手を挙げるって言うんですか？あげるわよ。そいつが丸腰だろうとなんだろうと関係ない。私の邪魔をするのなら容赦なく排除するしかないでしょ。それでも先輩と戦うのなら、
Oh.
私が遠坂先輩と戦います。ライダーのマスターとして遠坂先輩には負けません。
Sakura's scared, but she faces Tosaka with all her courage. Is Tosaka surprised by Sakura's grit, or does she think she's at a disadvantage?
そう、そこまで言うのならマスターとして勝ち残りなさい。あなたが助かる方法はまだ一つだけあったものね。聖杯が手に入れば造形の呪縛なんて簡単に解除できる。遠坂先輩、別に見逃してあげるわけじゃない。聖杯を奪い合う者としての勝負ならいくらでも戦う機会はやってくる。ただここは騒音の場じゃないってだけ。
She walks by us. Without any hostility or bloodlust, Tosaka pushes past us with surprising grace.
遠坂、
せっかくの共同戦線も一日限りになったわね。あなたがさくらをかばう以上、もう協力体制なんて言ってられないでしょ。けど忘れないで、さくらはいつ暴走するかわからない。その時にあなたが死ぬのは勝手だけど、預かったからには犠牲者はあなた一人にとどめなさいよね。
She leaves without looking back.
先輩、私。
バカ、そんな不安そうな顔するな。今のは遠坂流の皮肉だろ。あいつ人をからかうのが趣味だからな。
I give the sad girl a little push and go into the hallway. We're both freezing, so we need to change and get warm.
預かったからには犠牲者はあなた一人にとどめなさいよね。
She means that I need to take Sakura down with me if she kills me. That was the minimum condition Tosaka laid down when she left. It won't happen. I tell myself that while I take Sakura down to the living room. Her hand feels so warm. Sakura's alive and she's here. That's all I care about now. I can't let other doubts plague me and make Sakura more worried, but... Hold on. Her hand is too warm.
さくら、もしかして熱がぶり返したか？
どうでしょう。私暑いですか？
Sakura says something strange like she hasn't even noticed.
いや、そんなに暑いわけじゃないけど、俺よりあったかいかな。なんか触ってるとポカポカしてくる。
That might be something else, Shirou.
そのきっと風邪です。ずっと雨に打たれてたから、それで風邪をひいたんだと思います。
Sakura suddenly looks away bashfully for some reason.
そっか、そうだよな。じゃあ早く着替えて体を温めないと。夕飯は俺が作るから、さくらは熱を測って、風邪だったらあったかい格好で今に来ること。夕飯は食べやすい。
いえ、晩ご飯はいらないです。もう寝ますから、先輩もお休みください。
She half runs away. Well, okay. I'll catch a cold if I stay like this too, so I'd better warm up in the bath. I go back to my bedroom after my bath. Once I put on dry clothes, it finally hits me that I can sleep now. I sit down on the floor, shaking my sore shoulders and sigh. Today sure was a long day. A lot of stuff happened and there was a lot of trouble. I had to part ways with someone and try to salvage what was left.
そうだ。さくら、ライダーのマスターだったんだっけ？
She let Shinji take control, but Sakura was Ryder's master all along. Maybe Ryder's nearby right now watching over Sakura.
そうだな。ライダーとはもう数回会っているし、あいつがさくらを守ってくれるなら、ちゃんと話しておかないと。
Her appearance makes her seem unapproachable, but I think she's actually a reasonable person. And since I don't know when Zoken will cut Sakura off, I'll have to rely on Ryder. According to Kotomine, Sakura's health will get worse the more she uses her servant, so we should only count on Ryder as a last resort.
よし。明日になったら、さくらに紹介してもらおう。けど、セイバーにやられたことを根に持ってそうだよな、あいつ。
My shoulders slump in disappointment. Anyway, we'll all be living together now that Sakura is home, so I should at least introduce myself.
誰だ？
I jump to my feet, ready to respond to an attack, and squint at the sliding door. Someone's outside my room. They're standing quietly in the corridor. Nobody answers. The shadow is looking my way. Crap. I don't have anything I can use as a weapon in here. If I'm fighting barehanded, I'd better try to get the drop on them first.
先輩、起きてますか？
なんだ、さくらか。
I relax my tense posture.
風呂なら好きに使っていいぞ。着替えなら藤姉のがあるだろう。
はい、お風呂はもうお借りしました。藤村先生の洋服も借りてます。
Then, what else is there to talk about, Shirou?
先輩、入っていいですか？
いいけど、どうしたんだよ、改まって。
I slide open the door. Sakura comes into the room and... Something's off about her new clothes. In her new clothes. Someone gulps. I realize that it was me and my temperature shoots up. I cover my flabbergasted mouth and look away. It's pointless. I want to stare at Sakura even though I'm looking away. I don't know why, but she's making me feel funny. Sakura stands in the doorway. I finally realize that she doesn't only look graceful, but that something's strange about her.
さくら、どうかしたのか？熱はどうだったんだ？やっぱり風邪か？
いえ、熱はありますけど、風邪じゃないんです。私が暑いのは病気じゃなくて。
She looks down awkwardly. Sakura's been acting like this for the last few days. I thought I'd gotten used to seeing this side of Sakura I hadn't known before, to being conscious of her as a girl my age. But this doesn't even begin to compare.
さくら、
ダメなんです。先輩、もう私一人じゃ抑えられない。
抑えられないって何が？
私の中の、だって先輩と一緒に帰ってる時でも先輩の手が温かいなって思っただけで。
Sakura sways unsteadily. I'm starting to think this is worse than just a fever.
私、どうして先輩。
My thoughts are sluggish. It's clear that something's wrong with Sakura. I know that I should take her back to her room right away, but my feet won't move. The silence is tantalizing. Sakura drifts closer like a breeze. Her foot catches the edge of the tatami and... Did I shout or did she whisper? Sakura weakly collapses. I move on my sluggish feet, trying to help her up. But I don't make it in time and she awkwardly falls into me. There's definitely something wrong with her body. She's warm, but her arms and legs are cold. It's like her body has a high fever while her limbs are losing blood. This isn't a normal sick fever at all. Maybe someone poisoned her. I look away. Sakura buries her face in my chest. There's a long silence. Sakura's crying quietly.
さくら、
先輩、先輩はどうしてこんな私をかばってくれるんですか。私はとっくに蝕まれています。先輩が好きでも先輩のためになれない。なのにどうして遠坂先輩、姉さんを敵にしてまで私を守ってくれるんですか。
My reason for protecting Sakura? I don't even need to think about it.
違う。俺の方がさくらにいてほしかったんだ。俺にはさくらが必要で、離れるなんて考えられなかった。だから、いくら遠坂がさくらの姉貴だって、おいそれと譲れるもんか。
それは家族としてですか。それともちゃんと一人の女の子として。
I don't see her as just a family member anymore. I just failed to realize that over the last few days. I've always wanted Sakura to be with me. I'm long past pretending otherwise.
なあ、俺、さくらが好きだ。
I say it clearly. It's stupid. Once I was told that I would lose her, I finally dropped the pointless act.
先輩。
Sakura trembles. No, it might be me who's trembling. Of course I'm nervous, lying down with Sakura in my arms and telling her how I feel. I hold her a little tighter. It's quiet. I thought I'd be more anxious, but as soon as I say it out loud, I feel much calmer.
さくら、
Sakura's shoulders move. Her head trembles against my chest. I told Sakura that I love her, so I'd like to hear her say that she loves me too. Though, I don't mind if I don't get to hear it. Tomorrow we can spend a peaceful morning together just like we always have. Her tenderness makes me gulp. Her voice is more meek than before. It's a hazy, feverish voice.
おい、さくら。
Sakura's on top of me and acting strange. She isn't only feverish, she looks pained, like she's trying to endure something.
さくら、おい、しっかりしろ。具合悪いのか。
Her body gets hotter while her limbs get colder. I need to calm down. I can't make her feel better, but Tosaka... No, then maybe the church... No, maybe we better call Kotamine for help than to take her there.
じっとしてろ。すぐ楽にしてやるから。
先輩、私。
I need to put her to sleep first. Sakura squeezes me hard. She bites her lip in anguish. I told her that I love her, but I can't even do anything for her.
星先輩私足りなくて
She mumbles deliriously, dizzy with pain and shame.
できないんです私耐えられない
Breaths get faster. Both Sakura's ragged gasps and my own as I hear it. I'm starting to lose my composure being this close to her. Anyway, I need to get her into a warm bed.
いいかさくらちょっと
Sakura tries to run, or rather, her body arches backwards and she grabs my hand.
悪いさくら
違うんです違うんです先輩で私ダメ
I thought Sakura didn't want me to touch her, but I was wrong. Her body is uncoordinated. She grabs my hand, but when she tries to get closer, trembling, her upper body jerks away from me.
さくらおいさくら
ダメそんなことしちゃう先輩に嫌われちゃうけど苦しくて先輩の手が温かくて
The hand that Sakura grabbed inches closer to her. I can't pull away. I can't so much as let go of her weakly resisting hand.
先輩ダメ全然足りなくて
Her voice is bewitching. She brings my hand closer to her and then... Her warm lips seek it out, and she bites it. I go limp in surprise. Why is she doing this? She chomps on it. There's a slight pain in my fingertip. Sakura's teeth break my skin and my blood seeps out. Blood flows. Sakura's trembling gradually improves. I can feel her terribly cold limbs starting to regain their warmth. She gulps. I watch her throat swallow my oozing blood. Her tongue laps the wound. She makes quiet noises as she sucks my blood. It's a pleasant feeling, like my finger is melting. I feel the touch of her lips and the periodic caress of her tongue. Moreover, for each drop of blood I lose, I feel sweet pleasure. I felt this pain somewhere before, but right now I can't remember when or where. All I recall is how unsettlingly good it felt. She's only sucking on my finger, and yet the pleasure seeps from my wrist to my elbow. It's like the arteries leading from my heart to my finger are put into relief. Blood suffused with magical energy dribbles into Sakura's mouth. I try to look at the facts objectively. Sakura is drinking my blood, enduring her shame. It's calming her body down. Then, what's the problem with it? How much blood did I lose? This feeling of lethargy must mean that I've given at least as much blood as a blood donation. Sakura licks my finger one last time, and then her lips quietly release my finger. We look at each other, both saying nothing. She looks in better shape now, but her uncertainty is still there.
さくら
I finally say her name. I push down the mysterious pleasure I felt from my finger, and the worry I felt about what was happening.
先輩
Suddenly, she lets go of my hand and scrambles away.
さくらいや答えられないなら構わないんだ
ごめんなさい
Her voice is terribly faint. I look at Sakura's face and see that she has her hands on her lap and her eyes downcast, like she's cowering from me.
知ってますよね。先輩、私は魔導の家で魔術師として教育されました。血筋の違う私を魔導の魔術師にするため、小さな私の体をいじったんです。その結果がこんな魔力が足りないとおかしくなる体なんです。
My black rage at Zoken Mato bubbles back up. But more than that, Sakura's pitiful emotional words move me.
魔術師の力が欲しくて体の虫たちがうつき出すんです。そうなっちゃうと私はどうしても我慢ができなくなる。虫たちが魔力を飲み尽くして足りない、もっと欲しいって言ってるんです。
血を飲んだのももしかして。
She nods slightly. Sometimes silence is the most damning agreement.
魔術師の血にはよく魔力が溶けます。だから先輩の血を飲みたくなったんです。飲めば魔力が補充できて体の異常も収まるから。
Oh, her magical energy consumption must be intense now that Ryder has returned to her master. She managed to live a normal life without any problems before now, so it hammers home how heavy the burden is.
どうかしてますよね。先輩が顔を背けたくなるのも当たり前ですよね。先輩と一緒に帰った時からうつき出して先輩のことしか考えられなくなって、先輩が私を助けてくれるのに私は先輩から無理やり奪って。先輩、私おかしいですよね。
Her husky, strange voice cuts me deep.
先輩が抱きしめて心配してくれる時だって私は先輩の血を飲みたがってた。先輩は私のことを一人の女の子として好きだって言ってくれたのに、私は先輩私たちがあげるうめき声しか聞けなかった。楽になりたい、早く楽になりたい。だから先輩が血が欲しいって。だから本当は先輩を好きじゃなくて先輩の血が飲めるから好きになればいいんじゃないかって。ごめんなさい。こんな血を吸って楽になることしか考えない私は先輩に好きになってもらう資格なんかない。
Well, that's obvious. Actually, I don't know why she's even asking.
汚れてなんかない。さくらは綺麗だ。
I hug her again and whisper in her ear. Is Sakura trembling and crying? Am I sad because I can't cry for her sake?
バカ、血の少しくらいで嫌いになんかなるもんか。俺だってさくらのことが好きだった。今まで気がつかないふりをしてごまかしていたくらいにさくらは綺麗だ。だからそんな風に自分を責めるな。さくらの体がそうなのはさくらのせいじゃないんだから。
I stroke her shoulders. Sakura leans on my shoulder, sobbing quietly.
それにさ、さっき血を吸われてる時嬉しかった。
そんな先輩。
おかしくないぞ。さくらの体を治せない俺でもさくらを楽にしてやれるんだって嬉しかったんだ。だから気にしないでくれ。俺にしてやれる唯一のことを嫌がられたら立つ瀬がないしな。
I give her a light, reassuring clap on the shoulder.
俺の血でよければいつでも言ってくれていい。 それでさくらが楽になるのなら俺はそっちの方が嬉しいよ。
I imply that I'm glad I fell in love with her. It's a small, simple fact that I can be proud of.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい、先輩。私。
Sakura keeps apologizing. Each time I stroke her shoulder to let her know there's nothing to apologize for. She trembles uncontrollably like a young child.
私、先輩のことが好きです。好きだからこんな自分じゃダメなんだって。でも先輩が私のことを好きでいてくれるならお願いです。私がまた苦しくなった時に先輩に助けてもらって先輩の血を飲んでも私のことを嫌いになったりしませんか？
I stroke her hair and tell her yes. Sakura stops trembling and then she smiles with tears still in her eyes.
私先輩を好きになってよかった。
I feel a touch on my cheek, light yet full of affection. When I touch the spot where her lips gently kissed me, I blush bright red, like I just remembered how. We've touched each other countless times, but I suddenly feel embarrassed.
まあなんだ。
先輩。
We separate, kneeling properly across from each other. Everything that's happened is flooding in my mind, and I can't move very well. Sakura seems to feel the same way, and we both look around uncomfortably for a moment.
今日は本当にお世話になりました。私、部屋に戻ります。おやすみなさい。
Sakura stands up hastily. I don't have any reason to stop her, and I'm too shy to.
おやすみさくら。
はい。おやすみなさい、先輩。
She slides the paper door shut and leaves. Once I'm alone, I touch my cheek again. It was an unavoidable ordeal for Sakura. When I think back on it, I feel warm and fuzzy.
寝よ
I'd like to reminisce a little longer, but tomorrow will probably be a busy day, and I need to consider how to deal with Tosaka. I need to speak with Ryder, too. Besides, the Holy Grail War still isn't over. I need to defeat that mastermind Zouken and save... See, I really am sleepy. My mind and body are tired, so I should get a good night's rest and get my head in the game tomorrow. I'm dreaming. I should be asleep by myself when someone's snuggling up to me. I'm physically and mentally exhausted, so I shouldn't be able to get up, and Sakura's back in her room. So if I'm sleeping with Sakura, it can only be in a dream. Even in my dreams, Sakura is sucking my blood. That's how titillating that experience was. I told her that I love her. She kept calling my name, wanting me, and I want to reciprocate those feelings. Sakura is sucking my blood. Even in my dreams, she's sucking my blood. I'm literally in a dreamlike state. It wasn't enough. It would feel even better if she kept on going till one of us broke. Creation is a gentle delight, while decay is a fierce pleasure. It's cathartic for both sides. What am I thinking? No matter what, as a human, My vision warps. Sakura isn't here. It was Sakura drinking my blood, but at some point it became something I don't quite understand. It's hot. The ground under me is melting. I sink in a bog that's hot enough to scorch me. I drown in it, knowing that this is Sakura's body heat. I'm having a terrible nightmare. A sinister vision of a sea of hot coal tar. Well, that's ominous. I think that's the fastest we've ever had the Hey, you want to save the game? Screen pop up right after a scene ended. Ooh, boy. Okay. Well, we've made our choice of how to go forward. We're going to protect Sakura to the bitter end. So, in the next one, I guess we'll talk with Ryder and see what Day 10 has to offer us. So, I will see you all then. Bye!